Scatter, everybody, scatter. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Thursday stream. Not the last stream of the week, but I'll tell you more about that in a second. Golden Turns, thank you for the 5 months. Echo? Why is there an echo? There should not be an echo. I think you're capping. I don't think there's an echo. I can't see an echo in my OBS. I think you're a line. No echo? Good. All right. Chat, if I look a little bit tired today, it's because I am tired. Because for some reason I slept very badly last night. I don't know what it was, but I just woke up at 1 a.m. and couldn't go back to sleep until like 5 a.m. or something like that. So maybe a little bit lower energy today, but it's fine. We'll get through it. Joel, thank you for the 3 months. Runick Earthbound and Master Duel, we've already done that. I have a list for it. We've played it a little bit. We can play it a little bit later if you want to. I have it ready, so yeah, I can show it to you and we can maybe play a little bit. Already excuses to justify the Washua angle? I don't even need excuses for that. It just happens on a daily basis. What do you mean? What do you mean? Maybe the secret is doing it when you're tired. Maybe it works better that way. How about that? Curry K, thank you for the 9 months. Appreciate you. Welcome back. Oh no, it's the Tyjantic sub message coming in. Uh-oh. Yep. All right. Did you make Duelist level 20? I have not made Duelist level 20 yet. I stopped at 17 yesterday because Farfa asked me if I wanted to do a race from 17 to 20 with, I think he wants to play Burning Abyss and he wants me to play Frogs. So I don't know. We're not going to do that today though, because he said he doesn't have the time for it today, or he's not 17 yet. He's not at Duelist level 17 yet, so we're going to have to wait for Farfa to catch up. Which is weird because he asked me, hey, do you want to start at 17? And then he's not at 17, but all right. Here we are. We're doing that on Monday, apparently. The level 20 race with Farfa. But that's fine. We're just gonna have to do some other stuff today. So, like I said, I'm running a little bit on lower energy today because I slept pretty poorly last night. So we might not do we might do a little bit shorter. Maybe I was thinking like maybe ending an hour early, but we'll see how it goes. We still have a couple of exciting things to do, and I thought today was a good time to just we have new cards. You know what? I'll tell you about all that after we're done with warm-up. What do you usually side out when playing Runics? Okay, so that it's hard to give you a general answer, but you do want to try to not change much when you go first in general. When you go second, usually because your deck doesn't have a lot of non-engine spaces, you need to side out some amount of engine. Like that is something you need to start doing, which is very unusual because not many decks do that. But when you go second and you know you're going to have access to 6 cards instead of 5, I do like going down on like runic numbers a little bit. In the Bystial Runick, I was siding out like Lubellions and stuff like that. So engine pieces, right? You're gonna have to side out some engine pieces, and you're gonna have to learn how to like decide which ones the worst engine pieces are, right? But that is basically the trick. And the other trick is you can't side in that many cards. Simple as that. Like it's very hard to side in like 9 cards for a matchup when you're playing a runic deck. That's just something that's not really going to work, right? You can like maximum 6 cards, I would say, is like what you can side, unless Phantasme is one of them. Phantasme kind of helps with consistency, so you can side out more engine pieces for Phantasme. But yeah. Are you going to look at the new gimmick puppet cards? We are going to take a look at the new gimmick puppet cards. Let me just quickly do the warm-up, and then I'll tell you what I think of these new cards. I don't even know what I think of them yet. I haven't read them yet. I'm kind of scared of them because gimmick puppets are kind of troll despair, but we'll see. All right, let's go. Is that just firewall? I don't know. I don't think so. No. Mini firewall? So... Firewall Phantom? No. Paladin of Storm Dragon. Are you sure? Okay, you are sure. Sorry, I doubt it. That is Burial from a different dimension. I feel like I have seen this. Ragnarfinity, yeah. It feels like cheating with the numbers on them because they say what it is. That's Wolfbark. Is that a DDD? Yeah, it is. Okay. Van Lelik, thank you for the 6 months. I haven't thought about it, but maybe I will if you guys want to. We can. We can do a current Master Duel format tier list start of next week. I don't mind. This is like the 2 tribute for Darks. I don't know what it's called though. The drop off. Regular drop off. That's a dragon maid. I think that's laundry. No. Nurse? Laundry trap. Also, it is laundry dragon maid. It's just on another card. Okay, I got baited. I see. Fortress whale. No. Is it the ritual spell for it? Oh yeah, okay. A lot of debates today. I'm not in the mood for that. That's resonator something. Engine? Nope. Command? Nope. It's not call. Okay, I'm skipping. I don't think it's resonator call. It's just a resonator monster, I think. Oh, resonant destruction. Okay, cool. I see you. I don't know what that is. Spear shark. Agent of Mystery, right? Yeah. There's a lot of cards called Earth. I don't know why I tried that way. That is contract with the Abyss. No. Dark contract with the gate. Yeah, the searcher one. That's like something Aqua Maiden of the Aqua. Yeah. Very old vanilla. Maybe it's got an effect, I'm not sure. It might have an effect. You look familiar, but I can't name it. Numeral Hunter. I feel like I've seen that one. That is Ignister stuff. I challenge you. IQ. I have no idea what that is. Pasta Programmer, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Appreciate the first time subscription. Thank you so much. Dreadnought. Gustav. No, Dora. Is it Dora? It's Dora. Some spirit. But these are tough. They have like weird names. Abel. Lord of the River. Yeah. The turtle guy. Emerald. No, green turtle summoner. Yeah. Metaltron, please. Yeah. Don't know what that's called. Ignite Burst. Oh, that's Uvaloop. Uvaloop. Uva. Dude, how do you spell that thing? Uva. Is it not that? Uvualoop. Okay. I believe that's mistaken arrest. Mistaken accusation. Forbidden Realm. Was it tour bus? Poor little Sangan. That is Petite Angel. Yep. Is that Howling Insect? No. I don't think it is Howling Insect. Phantom Cricket, that's the one. Yep. Another DDD, I think. Maybe not. No, actually, I don't think it is. Oh, it was. Okay. Some FA stuff. It's either... Is it a dragster? No. Pit stop. Pit stop. Oh, Samochi. Oh, this looks familiar too. Well, what is that? Spartan Doctor? Witch Doctor of Sparta? That one. Actually, I don't think I'm familiar with that. Okay, this is looking Stardusty. But it's a spell. I'm gonna skip the Stardust spell. I don't know what it's called. Cosmic Flare. Yep. Ah, that's Tempo. Oh, I've seen this before. I've skipped this like 10 times. It's like I think it's Raid Raptor stuff. Beacon. Black Feather Beacon. So is it Raid Raptor or Blackwing? Maybe it's Blackwing. Blackwing? Okay. I have no idea what that is. Indiora Doomvolt. Alright. Nah. It's not sword and shield, but it still is the one where they have a shield and a sword and it like swaps. But what is it called? Weapon change. That's foolish. Return. Yeah. This one I don't know. A dual avatar. Foxrick, thank you for the 2 months. I think it's gonna isn't it in a main set? Oh, this is Wrath of Neos. Yeah. That's Harpy Queen. Is this a dry? I thought it was a Drytron at first, but I don't think it is. Cyber. Oh, it's Cyber's Quantum Dragon. Yeah. 2 points. We take those. That is Gravity Controller, I think. Yep. I don't know what that is. Vampire, probably. Not even that. Okay, good thing I didn't try to find the vampire. Crowley. I feel like I've seen this one. It's something ritual related. Of the world. Cycle? Is it Cycle? Yeah. This is Happiness, I think. Yep. Weaver. Wing Weaver. Six Samurai. Something with K. Inishi. That's what I said. Exactly what I said. Yep. Inishi with a K. Montage Dragon. Nano Breaker. Caligo Clawcrow. Yep. Amazonas. Trainee. Yep. Easy 800, even while somewhat sick. Not even a problem. I have no idea who you are. Stronghold Guardian. Engage. Some Solfa Cordon Melodious. I'm gonna skip it. We have like 5 seconds. Maybe we can get the last card real quick. I don't think we have enough time for it, but yeah, I think I was a Mayakashi, but 821 is not bad. Not bad. Not bad indeed. All right. Last 2 minutes saved the round. Yeah, it wasn't looking that good until the end. Like this period here was pretty good. These couple cards, because I didn't need to zoom that much for these. All right, do this real quick. Wrong go. We start with wrong go, and we're looking for a low level warrior effect monster with low stats. What's a small warrior from back in the day? Level 1, 2, or 3. A small warrior, maybe Kagamusha? No, that's too much defense. Junk forward, maybe? That's too much defense. Aqua Dolphin? Could be Aqua Dolphin. It's a level 3 warrior. It's even smaller than Aqua Dolphin. It's not a water. It's not a water, and it's not Marauding Captain because it is newer than 2006. Marauding Captain is even older than that. Silent Swordsman? Ooh, Silent Swordsman. No, that's too old. Level 3 warrior. Some hero. What's the level on Elemental Hero Flash? 4. What's the level on... Guys, look at the year. It can't be a Phantom Knight. It's before 2015. X-Saber? X-Saber is not a bad guess. What about Full Helm? I don't think it can be Full Helm because it's not a tuner, but I'll still put Full Helm in to see if it's an Earth monster. And it is an Earth monster. A level 3 Earth monster from 2010 to 2014. 2010 to 2014. 6 Samurai? I mean, Elder? It could be Elder. Oh, it's Elder. Okay, easy. Nice. I'm tired. Okay. All right. Warm up out of the way. Warm up out of the way. We have a couple things to talk about in today's stream. We've got new cards, but before we hop into that, I have a quick announcement to make, which I'll probably repeat later on during the stream at some point, but just so we have it out here, this is not the last stream of the week. I'm actually leaving for an event in Germany, not a tournament, but an event over the weekend, which is called the Gamescom LAN event, which is maybe you've heard of the Gamescom before. It's in Cologne, Germany, and I'll be there over the weekend because they also have a TCG section, the TCG hall, that they're going to be like hosting stuff in, and I'll be part of it. And there's going to be a stream on my channel of an event that I'll be co-hosting with the YCS casters, Lampy and Leonard König, and some other people are going to be there as well. And it's going to be in English. Yes, I told them it would make more sense if we would do it in English because it's on my channel, right? Because I mean the event is in Germany, but we're going to be doing English for the stream on my channel. So the plan for the Saturday, it's going to be on Saturday. It starts at 10 in the morning, and it's going to be a full day of TCG action. It's going to be a decent amount of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it's on my channel, but you will also, because we have like other content creators there for other card games, like Magic and Pokemon, for example, you're gonna see me try those other card games on stream as well. It's gonna be fun. So it's not gonna be random people. It's always gonna involve like me or Lampy or Leonard König and all that. We're gonna be like trying to, like, I don't know, fun stuff like guess how good Pokemon cards are, or try to build a Pokemon deck without knowing what's going on, playing Magic Commander for the first time, all that kind of good stuff. But also obviously a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh action. Like we're gonna be having some current format stuff. We're gonna be having some Time Wizard, mostly Edison format stuff. So it's gonna be a fun stream on Saturday. So make sure to check that out. And of course, you know, follow my Twitch channel if you haven't yet. That would be pretty cool. Just wanted to get that out there. Today is not going to be the last stream of the week. There is going to be a little bit of a special event on Saturday. that I would be, yeah, I'd be thrilled if you guys were watching it. Make it a success. I think it's going to be fun. All right. That's that. And without further ado, let us look at another day of the Infinite Forbidden reveals. And today we have concerning news. We have I don't like what they're doing with my heart these last couple of days. They are announcing Drytron support today, where we have Gimmick Puppet support. Very scary archetypes. And here I am asking the question, where's the Frog support? Where's the Paleozoic support? Where's the Necros support? Who asked for Drytron or Gimmick Puppets? You know? Can I have some Frog support? I can be trusted with Frog support. I can be trusted with new Paleozoic trap cards. Or dare I say it, a Paleozoic Link 1? I can be trusted with that. Anyways, we've got Gimmick Puppets. We've got Gimmick Puppets, and I don't really... I mean, Gimmick Puppet Nightmare is like the only Gimmick Puppet that's ever really seen play, so I technically don't really have an issue with Gimmick Puppets. The only thing that I don't like about Gimmick Puppets is the artwork. It makes me feel really uncomfortable. I'm sure there's people out there who find that cool or funny or anything. I don't like the artwork. I'm not a big fan of the Gimmick Puppet artworks, but okay, maybe that's just me. I find them creepy. I just find them creepy, that's all. We have Gimmick Puppet Little Soldiers. Okay, this one, the artwork on that one isn't that bad. It's a level 4 Dark Machine effect monster. The problem for me in evaluating these cards is I literally don't know any of the Gimmick Puppets, except for, like, I know Giant Grinder, the very old Xyz monster. I know they have, like, this alternate win condition with, like, what is it, Gimmick Puppet of Leo. I know Gimmick Puppet Nightmare. But even for Gimmick Puppet Nightmare, I only really know the locking effect. I don't even know the other part of the effect of Gimmick Puppet Nightmare. Like, what is the other effect on Gimmick Puppet Nightmare? I don't know. I genuinely have no idea. Anyways, Gimmick Puppet Little Soldiers. You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can send a Gimmick Puppet monster with a different level from your deck to the graveyard. This card's level becomes the sent monsters. Okay, so it's an Armageddon Knight on normal summon that can adjust its own level. That's potentially a really good card. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target up to 2 Gimmick Puppet monsters you control, increase their levels by 4 until the end of this turn. Okay, so on normal summon, dumps a Gimmick Puppet and has 2 effects that can level modulate. That can be pretty good. I think Gimmick Puppet is mostly rank 8 focused, right? I don't think it's, yeah. Oh, this is cost, right? This is cost. Love that. Love that for us. Okay, we have Gimmick Puppet Bloody Doll. Level 8 Dark Machine effect monster. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. You cannot special summon from the extra deck the turn you activate either of this card's effects except Gimmick Puppets. Alright. If this card is in your hand, you can reveal Gimmick Puppet Xyz monster in your extra deck. Special summon both one Gimmick Puppet monster from your deck with a level equal to the revealed monster's rank and this card. Ooh, that's pretty good. If this card is sent to the graveyard except from the hand, you can add it to your hand. Oh. Hold up. So what you're telling me is you go normal summon this guy, send this from deck to the graveyard, activate effect, add itself back to the hand, activate effect, summon itself, and another Gimmick Puppet from the deck. So you have 3 level 8s instantly. You're locked into Gimmick Puppets from the extra deck, but still, that's powerful. That is powerful. On the other hand, what I don't like about this is that this is looking like some one-card combo kind of shit once again. Which I feel like in the recent year, I feel like this is like the 10th time in a row you've shown me a one-card combo archetype. Please stop doing that. But okay. I don't know how good the Gimmick Puppet Xyz are to evaluate this, but alright. Gimmick Puppet Martha? Yeah, it's kind of like Martha, right? It is kind of like Martha, pretty much, yeah. Gimmick Puppet Cattle Scream. You can only use the first effect once per turn. You can detach one Xyz material from your monster. Special summon this card from your hand or graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field. A Gimmick Puppet Xyz monster that has this card as material gains this effect. Once per turn, you can target a monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it to their field in defense position. Alright, this one is not bad. It's not as broken as the first two, but it's alright. Gimmick Puppet Phantas 6 Machina. This one does not look creepy enough to be a Gimmick Puppet. This one looks more like a DDD. 2 level 8 monsters. You can only use the first and second effect once per turn. You can detach one material from this card, add a rank up magic spell from your deck to your hand. Also, during your main phase this turn, you can normal summon a machine monster in addition to your normal summoner set. If you special summon a Gimmick Puppet Xyz, you can special summon this card from your grave to either field in defense position. Then you can add a rank up spell from your graveyard to your hand. I did not know that Gimmick Puppets had a thing with rank up magics, but sure. I hate the rank up magic thing with a burning passion. I cannot remember a rank up spell ever being played for cool reasons. Every single time a rank up magic was competitively viable or competitively played, it was always to go into something that says your opponent cannot play the game. Which, yeah. It's like, there's cool ways to use rank ups. And trust me, I believe there are. There's cool ways to use rank ups, and then there is the broken ways to use rank ups, the one that don't let your opponent play. And in competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, people typically pick the latter, right? They don't go for the cool ones. They go for the Azathoth, the Kali Yuga, whatever there is, you know. Raid Raptors use rank up? Yeah, case in point. Case in point. Thank you for proving my point. All right. CXYZ Gimmick Puppet Fanatics Machina. Rank 9. Materials 3 level 9s, but probably you're gonna rank up into this. You can only use the first, second, and third effect once per turn. If this card special summoned, you can add a puppet trap from your deck to your hand. Detach one material from this card. Special summon a monster from either graveyard to your opponent's field in defense position. What's the deal with giving your opponent's monsters? I genuinely don't know. They must have some sort of great synergy with that, right? Like if your opponent controls a monster that that's originally yours or something like that, to burn them. Oh. They can FTK because of it. See, that's what I mean. That's what I mean when I say I don't like rank ups. Why does it puppet lock? I mean, this is on your turn. This is not a quick effect. If a monster is special summoned to your opponent's field, you can target one of them, destroy it, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half its original attack. Okay. Mansion of the Hell Dolls. Mansion of the Underworld Dolls field spell card. When this card, you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. When this card resolves, you can add a Gimmick Puppet monster from your deck to your hand. Okay, Searcher on activation. Gimmick Puppet monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, they are unaffected by your opponent's activated non-Xyz monster effects. Dude. We're not even done yet, but this thing is already a Searcher on activation, and it makes all your freaking Gimmick Puppets unaffected by non-Xyz monsters? That shit is broken as hell. This is just a Searcher on activation and then like no Nibiru, no Veiler, no nothing. Holy crap. Yeah, we VODs that thing with the quickness. We need to VODs that shit with the quickness. Holy. We're not even done. Once per turn, you can detach one Xyz material from your monster, then target a Gimmick Puppet in your graveyard, special summon it to your opponent's field in defense position. It's got a utility effect on top of that. Nah, that's not reasonable. That card is busted. That card is busted. Stop saying puppet lock. They're not quick effects. Chat, for the love of God. Puppet lock on your own turn doesn't matter, dude. Stop saying that. Dude, every time. Puppet lock, you know. God, dude. Service Puppet, normal trap card. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. Target monsters your opponent controls up to the number of Gimmick Puppet Xyz monsters you control. Take control of them until the end phase. If you control a Gimmick Puppet Xyz, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your grave, then target an Xyz in either graveyard, special summon it to either field and defense position. Okay. I mean, it is searchable, right? There was someone who searched that. This one did search a puppet trap, but so in a universe where Gimmick Puppet is an actual deck and they try to go first without FTKing the opponent, there's a world where this is a good enough end board piece for you to play one copy to set it and just like, it's a solid piece of interruption. Just take control of your opponent's monsters, right? I don't know, according to Twitch chat, the thing that Gimmick Puppet does is FTK the opponent, so in that version, obviously, this card wouldn't really do anything. In general, these cards are good. Period. Right? Like, this card is good, this card is very good, this card's alright, this card is decent, this card is decent, this card is completely obscene, completely cracked, and this card's kind of like, eh. The thing is, overall, the question that I cannot answer, because I literally know not enough about Gimmick Puppets in general, is, does that make Gimmick Puppets good? Or is it just like, is the archetype too bad to be saved by some custom cards, right? Because we've seen custom cards for other archetypes that ended up not being that great. It's a consistent FTK. Yeah, that's stupid. That is stupid. But what is the FTK? Just like summarize it for me real quick. Don't send me like a freaking replay right now. Just tell me like what they do. Because this, like, you can target a monster and then inflict half the damage, but like, how do you, that wouldn't be enough, right? How, like, you need more than that, right? Summon Xyz to opponent and then Giant Grinder burn. Hold up, what was Giant Grinder? Gimmick Puppet. I mean, I know what it does. It's like destroy something and then do damage, but Gimmick Puppet, Gimmick Puppet, Giant Grinder. Dude, it's always German. Gimmick Marionette Riesenfleischwolf. Bis zu zweimal pro Spielzug während deiner Main-Phase 1. Du kannst ein Material von dieser Karte abhängen und dann ein als Spezialbeschwörung beschworenes Monster wählen, das dein Gegner kontrolliert. Zerstöre es. Dann, falls es ein Xyz-Monster war, füge deinem Gegner Schaden in Höhe sein. Okay. So twice per turn, you could simply change the language. Yeah, but it's funnier if I just read it in German, because it's called Riesenfleischwolf. Twice per turn, you can destroy an Xyz and burn them by their original attack. Okay. All right. Probably last. Thank you for the 10 months. I mean, that's the thing though. If this ever, I am afraid of this becoming a consistent FTK deck. But at the same time, if it is, then I mean, they're just gonna gut it eventually, right? Hopefully, copium. It's not gonna be a problem for long, if it is even a problem. It's full anime. Watch Zexal. All right, let me go and watch an entire anime season to evaluate these cards. I'm gonna be right back. Okay? Thank you for your input, though. Karl Drogo, thank you for the 19 months. Appreciate you. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. But all right. And these are the only cards we got. Literally just Gimmick Puppets. Whoever asked for that, you guys are going to spam I asked now, but like no one actually asked. I know you're lying. I know no one actually asked for Gimmick Puppet support, so don't try to tell me. Don't try to tell me you asked for Gimmick Puppet support. I won't believe you anyways. It's pointless. There are more cards? Wait. Did I miss something? No. No, I got baited. Johansson, thank you for the 20 months. Appreciate that. Dude, we're getting resubs with month numbers that I feel like aren't even real. Has it been that long? Appreciate the long time support, everybody. Thank you. Okay. Today, we shall do two major things now. We'll do two major things, and we'll do a little bit for both worlds. We'll do a little bit of TCG and a little bit of Master Duel. I figured my YouTube recommendations have been full of creative deck profiles that did good, that did well over the last weekend, right? Like people like that. There's like stuff. Phantom Knight, Horus top YCS Sydney. We have like Volcanic FTK topping regionals. We have Sprites topping regionals again. We have Blind Second Labyrinth, all that kind of stuff. Unchained won a regional. And I figured it'd be a good time to, I mean, I at least want to give some spotlight to the kind of people and the kind of decks that are performing in a format that is considered to be a tier 0 fire deck. So I figured it'd be a good time to maybe check out the kind of things that can work in this format, maybe figure out what they're doing that makes it work in the fire format, right? Maybe there's something that these decks have in common that makes them like perform. Maybe the thing that they have in common is just playing 20 hand traps, but we'll see. Well, there's no way to know until we just like watch the thing and find out. So today's TCG thing is just going to be like I want to take a look at the state of the format outside of just fire decks, right? So like that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to play some Master Duel after to make sure we got the best of both worlds going on, right? Okay, I have these in no particular order. I was just going through the spreadsheet. Once again, shout outs to Super Peludo for compiling this stuff. You can go !spreadsheet, by the way, if you want to check for yourself, if you're interested in any of these lists or whatever, any of the data. There's a command for it in chat. But I've already opened a bunch, and we're gonna go through some of them. Yeah. Let me see. More new cards. Oh, we've already looked at these yesterday. We've already looked at those yesterday. I think there's already a YouTube video of that on the Plus channel. If you want my opinion on those cards, just go !YouTube and subscribe to the Plus channel. I think it's already up there. Okay. Cool. Why don't we begin with the one that I just happened to open up first? No particular order. This is just the one I opened first because it was my YouTube recommendations this morning. We have a first place regional deck profile, Blind Second Labyrinth, which I'm gonna be honest with you, that is not something I would expect people to play Blind Second. Like, I can get behind playing like Blind Second version of like the Power Spell Snake Eye that I played at the last regional or something like that. Blind Second Labyrinth is something I never expected to see, and they did win the entire thing. So I mean, let's just hop right in. You have my attention.
Number one.
Your 2024 Portsmouth Regional Champion, Josh Kelly.
I'm Josh Kelly from The Collective, and I just won Portsmouth Regional with Blind Second Labyrinth. Let's go. Alright, this is my Duelist ID card. Important. I just touched it. Has to be done. So, for the Labyrinth cards, playing 3 Coup Clock. So the furnitures, we're playing 3 of each, right? Because essentially, in the good Labyrinth hands,
the angle is suboptimal, but okay.
Go in second, you need to open Coup Clock for like to play your deck really, unless you open like Arias plus another trap. And Coup Clock paired with any of these is just insane. And it gives you follow up, it gives you bodies, it's just so good. And obviously the furnitures are insane. I also played 3 Arias because when you're going second, the idea of this deck is when you play against Snake Eye, if you go first, you play your Labyrinth cards and they do nothing. And you're playing normal Snake Eye Ash and you just lose. It's like no win condition. But when you go second, you don't have to commit your cards to the board, and your opponent can't kill you, right? So you only have to stop the cards that are threats.
I mean, It's technically not wrong. You can't die on the first turn if you go second. That is, I don't know if that's a good reason to play the deck, but it is not wrong.
Like the IP and Appaloosa. So you just play all of these, trying to play in your first turn. But then,
in a way, you're guaranteed to get to turn 3. Think about that.
you got to play more because it's 12 cards, right? And they're 2-card combos, and they just do nothing.
I don't think it's a bad approach. I genuinely think there is no good way to hit Snake Eye without killing it. Is the conclusion that I reached during that discussion. Like, there's 2 ways you can really hit Snake Eye, and that, like, mainly the one way is you either kill the deck by banning something, like completely eliminating a line of play, or you just do like slight consistency hits, which would be like 2 Snake Eye Ash or something like that, which I don't think is a great way to do it, but yeah. Do you want it dead? On the one hand, I understand why people do hate the deck. Like, people just always hate tier 0, and I do understand that. On the other hand, I do think it's a little bit too soon because, I mean, people have spent a lot of money on it, and I know that a lot of you don't care for other people, but like, I think it's not reasonable for the company to immediately kill the deck if people have spent like $1,000 on it. That doesn't seem like a good business model, because then people just never spent money on cards again. So I don't think they should kill it, no. But the thing is, hitting it without killing it is not easy.
So you need another way to play turn 0. So I play 3 Impulse in the main, and the 1 Fire Attacker. So this is letting you draw into these 2-card combos.
Okay, and now you have my interest.
And then you play turn 0, and like an Arias plus
Is there Phantasme too?
the Rumor Cannon, and you're also deep drawing even more in your opponent's first turn with Phantasme.
Oh, it's there. Oh god. Yes.
So the idea is you use all these cards, the deep draw. Your Snake Eye opponent goes first. They normal Ash. You activate all these. You draw like 5 cards, and you just
This is the best deck I've ever seen.
spam the field of bodies, and you both play turn 1. And also, because we're playing all of this, I decided to play 1 hand trap in my main, which is Nib. And the main reason I decided to play Nib is because the Snake Eye combos, what they do is they put the monster in a spell trap zone with the field spell, and then if you nib them, they summon the monster out. And that's how they play around Nib. I was expecting my Snake Eye Bozo opponents to summon the monster when I summoned Phantasme, and then they just lose to Nib now, and I nib them.
Funny.
But also Nib plus the furniture is good because you don't summon the monster to your board. Nib's just like...
There's no way that works. There's no way that works. Your reasoning is, okay, they go for the temple lines to play around Nibiru, and then you just summon like Fire Attacker or Phantasme first, and they summon out the thing, and then you can nib them? Nah. That is such a wacky reasoning. I mean, unironically, let's be real, it probably worked sometimes.
There's space for 1 hand trap in this deck, and this is the one you play because it's the highest impact. And it also has good coverage against decks that FTK you. And the decks that don't FTK you can just play Labyrinth with. But also, the Airlifter and the 6 Furnishers all discard cards, right? And then you deep draw into them more with Phantasme, so you can justify playing the discards more. So I was playing Transaction Rollback.
I love this deck already.
But I cut it for the 2 Shufflers.
Oh, yes.
Because...
Dude, you go Fire Attacker, draw 2, discard a Shuffler? Nah. That's crazy.
I needed 2 cards to side out. And this deck has, like... This deck is really good into pure Snake Eye, but it has a bit of a worse Fire King matchup. And he's really helped with that. And realistically, like when you're playing turn 0, you activate your trap turn 0, your opponent has to Ash for the Bell, and then you just activate turn 1, and it's like you're not even behind, right? Because your deck is just like so far.
Thank you for the $4. I don't know if it would be viable, but I still don't want Master Plan to come back. I do not like Master Plan. I don't want Master Plan to be in the game. I don't even think it'd be that good, unironically, but I don't want to take the risk.
Fast. So you do the idea is you just want to play the deck really fast. Then also for the discards, play 3 Backjack. This
Oh my
card,
god. This deck might just be the most fun thing you can do in the format. I love this. I love this, and I love the fact that they won with it, so it can't be that bad.
insane. So I kind of have to show the traps for this. So it's 3 Black Goat and 3 Daruma, the generic traps I played. So Black Goat synergizes with all the rest of his cards because you pitch it, and then you're normally calling like an Appaloosa or like SP with this.
Isn't this Master Duel legal besides Arias? Yeah, but Arias seems pretty important here, I'm not gonna lie.
So they can't interrupt your plays rather than trying to stop their plays.
The Black Goat is also not
And then the Back Jack. Obviously you want to hit this. You hit this and the game's over, right? But Back Jack hitting like a shuffler is nice, which is why Rollback came out for the shufflers, because I wanted to increase the trap count for Back Jack, but Rollback, if you hit Rollback or Back Jack, it's so bad. So it's like, these do the same thing. They're also a good discard, like Rollback. They didn't come up that much, but like they're forcing out bells and stuff a lot because your opponent can't play if you use the shufflers. If your opponent bells you, then you just play your labyrinth cards, which is really nice. I also played 3 Big Welcome. This card's broken. Of course, you got to play 3 Big Welcome. Hitting off Backjack is nice as well. And I played some Labyrinth Bricks. Lovely, of course. I do this 10 times in a row testing yesterday, so I got all the bad luck out of the way. But yeah, Lovely's obviously insane. And I played 1 Welcome. Because this card's a brick. If you hit it off Backjack, it doesn't really do anything unless like you have a couple other pieces to go with it, and you already had a furniture in hand, so it doesn't really do anything. It locks you into Fiends. It's not a good card to draw. It's not a good card to use with Arias, but you need it just like as a recoverable engine. Because normally you don't want to. You'd be lovely setting back Big Welcomes. You want to be setting back the powerful tracks like the Daruma kind of. And then for another brick, I played 1 Ariana. Sounds kind of crazy. I actually cut this at one point. But
I mean, it does sound crazy if you're going off of standard Labyrinth like theory, but this card blind second, like most of the time you're not going to be able to resolve it, right? Like people are playing Veiler and Imperm, people make Appaloosa and all that kind of stuff. I think it's like it seems reasonable.
It's just bad in this deck because it's too slow.
You definitely need it as a target for your welcome traps because sometimes you definitely want it, but like I think actually drawing it is not like that great.
Like, I'm not normal Ariana. The only time this card is good to draw is if you open Arias to summon it from hand. And like, I play 1 Lady as well. And these cards both got cut from my deck. I was playing the 2 rollbacks, but I put them in because you struggle to OTK if they're not on your deck.
This deck looks giga fun.
And you struggle to close out the games rather than you really need them. So I was just playing like the 12 furniture lab pieces and Lovely. But these are needed to close out games, especially against the higher decks where they have really good grind. So that is my main deck. I just see there's no pot.
Damn, Josh coming up with a super base deck. What a surprise, am I right? What a shocker.
It's too slow.
It's just we're born like that. We're just born like that.
My opponent's already had a turn and I'm activating
we just make it
any
base.
spells in my main. Before the last round, I saw my opponent playing the Pendulum Graph Ritual Monster. I was like, oh, I hope there's something that can negate my no spell cards. So for the extra deck, play like, it's all one-offs because you just have space. So you play like the standard Labyrinth cards, which are these. You can't really justify playing more. Like, you can. I was on 2 Muckracker, but I cut it for something you'll see. Yeah, these are just good Labyrinth cards. You always play them. You would pay more Muckracker if you played anything. So the other Labyrinth, like, standard monsters I play is Clara and Rishka. Also to make SPs come up sometimes. It doesn't come up as much now because like you only play the 1 Ariana. So most of the time the normal summon in this deck is just a random furniture piece for link material or just like.
Is there any reason you should blind second with Labyrinth? Or can I just throw 3 Impulse, 3 Phantasma into any deck? So let me try to phrase it in a way, the way I understand it or the way that I would interpret it, because I think this idea is not bad. I do think this idea is not bad. And for Labyrinth specifically, I have noticed that too when playing the deck in Master Duel or something. I haven't played it at big tournaments in the TCG, but yeah, I have tested the deck in TCG as well. It's a trap deck, so you just assume it's really good at going first, and a lot of the versions that people are playing are good at going first. However, the problem with Labyrinth is that very often you need to balance between when you try to go first, you're only going to be able to 50% of the time. So you kind of have to build your deck to be able to go second anyways. So typically what people do is they just play a lot of hand traps or a lot of non-engine for going second in Labyrinth anyways. And then when it goes first, it actually doesn't have the craziest openers very often, especially if you want to play around Ash as well, right? Like sometimes you open Ariana and like a furniture and you're too scared to go for some crazy Ku Klok lines, which would win you the game on the spot. But if they have the Ash Blossom for it, you have nothing, right? So what ends up happening very often is you end up setting up something like, I don't know, Ariana, Welcome Lab, Big Welcome Lab, or like maybe the Field Spell. And that actually doesn't do that much defensively, right? It sets you up for a great grind game because you have like the furniture pieces coming back, you have like infinite card advantage, but defensively, you're not actually doing anything, right? And so I think the idea here is that when you go second, you don't have to worry about your Labyrinth engine acting as like defensive cards. You don't have to try to stop your opponent's first push with your Labyrinth cards because the Labyrinth cards aren't actually that good at doing that, right? Because the only real defensive stuff that all the Labyrinth cards, even if you have all the Labyrinth cards in the world, the only thing that they really do is get you a Lovely pop, maybe a Field Spell pop. That's pretty much it. Right? If you have like some super wombo combo and your opponent has nothing, you can set a trap from Lady Labyrinth and use it immediately. That's like the most broken defensive thing that Labyrinth can do, which is like in most builds, that's like a Karma Cannon, right? Which isn't, defensively speaking, isn't even that great, right? With Labyrinth, you do want to get into this sort of grind game state later on, then is when Labyrinth becomes good. Like Labyrinth actually doesn't do anything spectacular on the first turn of the game or the second turn of the game. It becomes good in the long run. And I think what they're trying to do is make a deck that is more likely to get into that state, right? Which is more likely if you go second and you play cards like Phantasme and Rescue Ace Impulse, I suppose, is the idea behind it, because you don't have to worry about stopping your opponent's first push. You're kind of using the Labyrinth cards more as like board breakers. Well, not really board breakers, but you're using it to interact with your opponent's existing board already rather than stopping them from building a board, which I think can work. I still think it's relatively weak to something like Ash Blossom. Like if you open like furniture plus Ku Klok and your opponent hard opens the Ash Blossom, then you're still in big trouble, right? Because then you're not gonna... You've invested 3 cards from your hand and you're not getting any mileage out of it, right? So it still has problems, but I do still think the approach is not bad. And to answer the other question, in theory, you could build another deck to blind second with Impulse and Phantasme as well. Yeah, if it makes sense. Yeah, I don't know which deck I would choose for that, but you know. I'm just flabbergasted by the idea of summoning a Phantasme against Snake Eyes and then bouncing it with Big Welcome Labyrinth and then summoning it on my turn again when they summon out IP Masquerena. I need that in my life.
But I love bait your opponent into using the Snake Eye Field Spell. Yeah, I played the one animal. It's just another like Link one. It was quite nice today because it just forces stuff because your opponent, they feel bad, they're embarrassed when they play into the animal column, so they negate your animal for no reason, and then you make XP with it.
This is true. This is true, by the way. People do that. People do that.
But that's what happened today.
Just let it go through.
It's like my opponent had like an oak here, and I summoned an animal and I used the effect, and it's like they just use Vayner for no reason. And like I was like, sure, like I was just gonna link it up into SB, it's free, right? But yeah, I think you should always play this because you need a Link 1 for backjack if you need to normal backjack, and you don't really need Link Reaver. I don't really miss it. You're normally not normal in backjack because you're just deep drawing. It's insane. And obviously SP. SP is SP. I played one Beatrice. Beatrice is actually really cool in this deck. Like people played it in Labyrinth before because you can use like Bystials and Arias. But Fire Attack is level 6. And this card can send Shufflers, it can send Backjack, it can send Black Goat Laughs. And it used to be able to send Rollback. It's like maybe a reason to play one Rollback, but this doesn't come up enough to justify space in the main deck, I don't think. But when it does come up, you just win the game.
I wouldn't hate one Rollback. It's hard for one rollback to be super terrible for you, but yeah.
Sending a shuffler just like does so much. And like realistically, if you resolve impulse, you'll get into an area on board, and this is coming out, so it's not as niche as you would think. And then I played the Unchained Extra Deck package. So I didn't play any Unchained main deck cards, but essentially what you can do is you can use 2 bodies to make this and another body. Make one of these, link for your opponents, and you end on a rage. And it helps break the boards.
So you need 3 bodies for this. You need 3 bodies for this, and then what it offers you is you make Yama first, then you turn Yama and the other into a link 3, link with one of your opponent's monsters into the link 2. So it links away 1 thing on your turn and 1 on your opponent's turn. That's not bad. That's playable.
And it just gives your end board like extra power. So you just have all your furniture bodies just randomly on board, and you can just make them into a Soul of Rage, into an SP in your opponent's turn. And then people always forget about the Yama, and they Phoenix pop your back row, and you just summon back Rage. It's so nice. You know, this was nice for me. It doesn't come up that often, but because you have space, it's worth playing. And when it does come up, you win that game. Then I played Dark and Heater. Now this is the jank in the extra deck, right? I played Princess, Raging Phoenix, and Zelantis. So essentially, the rescue is monsters of fires. And once you've resolved Airlifter, you pretty much always have enough bodies.
If I get Kita, Promethean, Raging Phoenix, Zelantis by Labyrinth, it's over, man. It's actually over.
To do the Zelantis line, so like you just activate a bunch of random effects. Your opponent uses all their hand traps, and they do nothing because your cards do nothing because you have so many of them, and they're just redundant. And so your bodies can just make a Zelantis to OTK your opponent. This didn't come up for me much today because a lot of the time today I was just opening Labyrinth cards and I'd have to lock myself with the Big Welcome. But this is still worth playing. Like when you open a hand of like Phantasme Impulse.
This is just cool. This is just a cool deck. I don't know if it's actually better, but it's definitely not bad. I mean, they did win the regional, and I do see the idea behind it. It's not bad. But it's just cool as hell, man. That's all. That's a given.
This just happens like every time. All right, for the side deck, the side deck is a bit weird because the main deck is like pretty much purely made to go second into Snake Eye. So if I'm playing against Snake Eye and I win game 1 and they get to choose, it depends if they're gonna make you go first or second. But I only side in 2 cards, so I side out the 2 shufflers.
It seems like the kind of deck though that making it go first isn't even that bad for it. Like you still have like, you know, 3 Black Goat, 3 Daruma, some Labyrinths combos. Like the only cards that don't do anything going first is the Furnitures and the Rescue Aces and the Phantasmes. Like you can still go and set your powerful trap cards and do some stuff with it.
Because they're mainly in there for Fire King. They're just nice against Snake Eye. And I side in Rivalry and DDG. Shout out Darwin for the Rivalry. The idea is, if they make you go first, you open a high roll hand, you set up DGG. And if they make you go second, then this is still a card you can hit off Arias, you can hit off Backjack. Like, I didn't actually do that today, but I don't like playing this card in the main, because if you open like Furniture plus Backjack, and your opponent normal Snake Eye Ash, and you activate the Furniture pitch Backjack and hit this, you win the game. But it's just bait. Because if you don't hit this, then you lose the game, right? You've like telegraphed everything you have. Like the idea of this deck is you don't telegraph until you have to. And then when you do, your opponent just like crumbles.
Okay, I like that edit. That was fire. That was good. Okay, so what they mean by this is that if you play different Dimension Ground and you want to hit it off of Backjack, you have to do Furniture Backjack at the very beginning of your opponent's turn. You have to do it immediately, and so your opponent knows what's up. Whereas if you're trying to hit something like a Daruma Karma Cannon, you can do that just like you can wait until they until they're right before making Appaloosa or something like that, right? So you have some time to wait. However, I will say, I'm not sure if that's entirely true. I don't know if you can afford to wait with this version either, because you play the Black Goat Laughs. And with the Black Goat Laughs, you also kind of want to do that early, right? Like if you hit the Ruma Karma Cannon, you can do it very late. But if you hit Black Goat, you kind of want to have that early too, right? To like call Flamberge or whatever before they tag out with a Snake Eye. So if they go normal summon Snake Eye Ash and summon Poplar, do you really wait and risk them going for like the Ash effect into Flamberge? Because the different Snake Eye lines summon the Flamberge at slightly different timings, so you never know exactly when your opponent plans to tag out next, right? So yeah.
Play this because this deck, like the main deck, isn't great against branded. Like obviously the Phantasmias are bad, and like branded is a deck that just does more, and this just stops them from doing more. I didn't actually play against branded today. I dodged Henry, luckily, but I played against two Voices Voice. This was really nice against Voices Voice. In the finals, I opened Arias D-Barrier. That was disgusting. And I played a lot of going first cards because the main deck is like pretty much made for going second.
My problem with Arias D-Barrier is that I don't even think Arias plus a trap card is that strong for going second. I think that combo is kind of overrated a little bit because it doesn't do anything for you yourself. You're just investing 2 cards to stop your opponent from doing something, and then you're just vibing there with 3 cards in your own hand, right? And you haven't actually progressed your own game yet at all. Even if it's DDG, like, yeah, okay, the Snake Eye player passes turn, but you still have to deal with like your opponent's Ashes, Bells, Imperm and Veilers on your Ariana and whatever, right? And like you haven't resolved anything yourself yet either. And you're playing Labyrinth, so you're never gonna kill them. You don't have the ability to do that, right? So you've basically skipped your opponent's turn with 2 cards, but you haven't done anything. You're not gonna kill them, and they can play next turn. So I'm not sure how much I actually like all that stuff. The Arias combos. I'm actually not that big of a fan of Arias in general as a card. Like, it's a good card, don't get me wrong, but I just don't love it as, like, I don't think it's as strong as people think to set a powerful trap card with Arias.
Ariana going first because like against branded you can't go second because you just lose. They just do too much. So you side these in and you just try to get to one of these. And against like Vanadium.
Maeve, thank you for the 3 months. Yes, I'll be at German Nationals in June. Yeah.
Which you're not really going to play Vanadium, but if you play against Vanadium, you don't want to go second. So I think these are worth playing in the side for when you want to switch into like a going first variant.
That makes sense.
And then obviously I had to, my choice for Floodgate. I was disappointed because I played a spell card in my list. And I almost played no spell cards in my whole list. That would have been so nice, you know. But I played 3 mistaken because it's just the best Floodgate in Lab. You don't want to play Summon Limit because you don't want the card on board. Everyone's sided in back row removal for your trap card deck, of course, right? So you don't want to play a continuous trap. You don't want to play deck lockdown because you can't summon from your deck. So this is just it because it lingers. And it just doesn't affect you at all. Like, I think someone mistakenly arrested me like a couple weeks ago in this deck. I just didn't know how I could possibly search another card. Like, one thing I also wanted to say. Airlifter says on it, if a card is added to your opponent's hand, draw 2 cards, discard 1, right?
That's fire attack.
So you see when you activate Big Welcome Labyrinth to return 1 card on the field to the hand, and that card is added to your opponent's hand. You get to draw 2 cards and discard 1, which is insane. And there's like a bunch of applications with that. Like if they go like Oak, add back a Poplar. I don't know. It does come up a lot where like it came up today where they activate the Cerevis on board to bounce itself, and I just draw 2, discard 1. It's so nice.
So it is true that if you resolve Fire Attacker on your opponent's turn, it's not that unlikely that you can resolve it again on the next turn, right? Like that's basically what they're saying is like your opponent's gonna play into it on their first turn, and if you have the luxury of leaving it around on the board, you can do it again.
I also paid 3 Ash for Branded. Branded is
Dude,
scary,
we're scared
man.
of Branded. I get that.
Branded is
Okay.
scary. I played the 4 Bystials as well. Because this deck, like the main deck just has a bad Branded matchup. And you have a good matchup into everything else. Your main deck's built for Snake Eye. This covers Branded, it covers Voiceless Voice.
No, I love this deck. It's super based. I love that deck. That's very cool. That's very cool. I might try that. Unironically, I might try that. If If I'm playing any, if we do any remote duels in the next week or something like that, I might try this deck. This looks very dope. We started with the best one first. I'm afraid. I don't think it's only gonna go down. We're probably, not to say that the upcoming deck profiles are gonna be bad, but I find it's gonna be hard for them to beat this deck profile for me personally. This one was pretty dope. Okay. We have Unchained taking the Unregional. This is not a video from last year. This is actually from yesterday, believe it or not. Unchained did win a regional. I believe Cody Manabe is the player that got second place at YCS. I don't know what the YCS was, but I think he lost to Jesse Cotton in the finals. I don't know. Was it Toronto? I'm not sure which YCS it was, but he got second against Jesse, I'm pretty sure. No need to unlimit Charvara. They absolutely should unlimit Charvara still.
Hey, what's up guys? Cody from Team JNC here, and I just got first place at the Las Vegas Regionals with Unchained. So yeah, before we get started, I want to give a couple shout outs. Shout out to Team JNC, my sponsors. Shout out to Dueling Guard. Make sure to use code.
He's on top of points for NA also. Oh, right.
JNC 5 for 5% off. And shout out to Dragon Inc. for the sick jerseys.
Have they actually announced how points work in the US? Like, is it top 16, top 8, whatever? Because I know they haven't said anything for Europe. Like, people in Europe are just collecting points and they got no idea how, like, what the system is.
Who knows? So yeah. Also, subscribe to my channel. I'll be posting it more. It's Cody, KODY _YGO. So yeah, let's get on to the profile. So starting off with Unchained cards, I played 3 Aruha, 3 Rakea. I thought this card was a lot more.
Are you going to the French Open? I'm not going to the French Open. No, I'll be at the German Open, but I'm not playing the French Open because I'm not collecting Worlds points because we already qualified for Master Duel. So I'm not going through all the struggle with the regionals this season.
More important than the tour guide. So I decided to cut the tour guide and up the Rakea. It's really good going into a board, especially when I can just normal summon it into an SP and then force battle phase. Or going into a fireboard, I can normal summon it while I have a set, and then if they respond with any effect, then I can always chain it to pop a card.
Are you going to North Carolina since no EU events? No, I decided against it. I was thinking about it, but I don't want to fly, and I decided that I didn't want to. I'll be streaming it though. We'll be watching it together, so I won't miss out on the action. I just won't be there.
And be able to special summon that way. But yeah, I thought 3 was really good. 1 Sarama. I didn't want to bump this up. It was good. 1 Shavara. I couldn't find the other 2.
The same goes
so
for Indy.
I only had to play 1. I also played 1 Shayama. I didn't want to bump it up to 2 because it decreases the consistency of the deck.
No, I'm not super familiar with the new quote-unquote Unchained combo lines that they go for at the moment. I know in the beginning people said that now you need to play 2 Shayamas. But then every single topping deck profile with Unchained that I've seen since has still only played 1. So the reality must be you can still do solid combos with just 1 Shayama. They show it? Oh, that's nice.
This deck already breaks enough. 1 A-Bomb. This card's necessary. And then 1 Disaster. Like my old list, I really thought this was important, but
I hate
now in a new combo, and most of your combos now, I feel like this is one of the more impactful ones. Not only are you able to link away your opponent's monster, clearing boards that way.
Oh, it was Vancouver.
Its
okay.
destruction effect, to be able to special summon a monster, is actually one of the more important effects now. And lastly, the brick. And yeah,
the brick. You've showed like 4 of those already.
For the monsters, I chose not to play the tour guide package. I felt like in a hand trap format, I didn't want to normal summon tour guide. So I chose the other extenders, which is 3 contract. I thought about playing the other DDD, the Kepler, to search it and to have an automatic Yama, but I felt like there were already too many normal summons. I only wanted to stick with 4, but yeah.
Yeah, Kepler as like a 1-card Yama could be okay.
I decided to play this, no Kepler. For the consistency, 3 pot. I believe that if your deck can play pot, then it should. Yeah, this card was great for me. I cut it to 2 in testing, but then I put it back to 3 just because
so is Tour Guide? Yeah, I guess. Tour Guide also just is a 1-card Yama.
And then it was a really easy side
Even
out
if you
card,
don't play the Rhino
but
for it.
also game 2 against the non-fire decks, I was able to search for cards like Dark Ruler No More or Lightning Storm and Harpies. And then going first, it's actually like really crucial because then you get to see your
Tour Guide eats Valor and Imperm. Well, I mean, so would the Kepler, because that's what we're comparing it to right now. But yeah.
This one, Sprota, there's not much to be said. I decided to play one Wailing.
Dude, during Unchained format, when I tested the deck on DB, I kept building versions of it, and I kept forgetting to add Abomination's Prison because it's not called Unchained. Like, I just typed Unchained into the deck builder. I threw in all the Unchained cards, and I was asking the people that I tested with. I was like, "Hey, why do I have so much room in this deck? Like, how do you guys struggle with fitting all the non-engine? Like, what's the deal with that?" And they looked at my deck and they couldn't figure it out either. They were like, "Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Somehow you fit all this." And then eventually eventually I didn't even brick in testing. That's the thing, right? It's just like I drew consistent hands most of the time, and I was like, "Hey, what's going on here? Like, my deck feels completely normal." I was just missing the road at the entire time, man.
I stuck to my old ratio of the 1, 2, and 2. I felt like the number was correct. I only wanted to play 5. I tried 6 and I clunked too much on it, but the one Willing was really good because I used its effect more times than I used its pop effect more times than I used its special summon effect, and I felt like this card made a huge difference from my old list to this one. And that's it for the engine. Going on to the non-engine, I play 3 Nib. This is the best hand trap of the format.
I'm assuming this is just hand trap version.
3 Ash.
Yeah.
3 Valor, 3 Imperm.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people like talking about how they side deck out Ash and other decks to play around the fire decks for the Hita, but I feel like that's just dumb. Like, you want to have as many hand traps as possible, so why would you side out one of the better ones against them? If they Hita you, then it's fine. It's
not the greatest hand trap against Snake Eye. It definitely feels, for me, it feels bad when it's my only hand trap. But I do agree that, like, you just want to have critical mass against Snake Eyes, and there's just not many other alternatives that do the same thing as Ash. Like, it just needs to be there. Mourner is good too. Yeah.
Their board a little bit worse. It gets you to Princess, but in this deck, the Princess pop doesn't really matter, so I decided to stick with this. And then for the last 2 cards, I played 2 talents.
Okay.
These 2 slots were back and forth between this and another card. I thought about 2 of these, 1 of this, 1 thrust. I thought about 2 other hand traps, but overall, I just needed the extra spell and trap count. So when I do get nibbed in my combo, I can still play through it by setting a spell or trap. And talents was also really good in case I needed to look at their hand. And it was also crucial in going second because using the effect to take comes up in this deck a lot more since you're able to clear 3 to 4 bodies with taking their card, making the link 3, and then the link 3 can make the link 4, which pops another card. So yeah, I thought talents was really impactful.
It's funny how technically Unchained, if you really think about it, hasn't even changed at all since everything that happened. Like, you take out 2 Sharvara, okay, cool. You take those. Now the deck is 40 instead of 42. They've taken out the tour guide in this version, okay, fair enough. But like, pretty much the concept behind the deck is the exact same.
Going on to the extra deck. Studs group chat, people from Hawaii, shout out to Jensen and Noi for the Ronnie token. Yeah, I played 3 Yama. This is so important now. Most times I use it in my first turn combo if I really want to set up, but if they don't interrupt me as much, then I can just keep it in grave still. 2 blue dog and 1 red. I've seen lists that play 2 red dog, but I feel like if you're playing the deck correctly, you really only need 1. I played 1 Abominable, the link 4. This has and probably will be one of the best monsters to make, going second. It acts as an OTK and being able to destroy. This is also one of the best cards against Flu and one of the main priorities when I play against that matchup. For the link 2s, I played Muckracker SP. Muckracker is really important right now because we're in a hand trap heavy format, so the same applies to this deck. If I get stopped, I'm able to just normal summon.
It has changed. It doesn't play through Imperm Valor and through Nib as well. I meant like more in like how you build it. I'm sure the playstyle changes if you have less access to Sharvara because it helps you dodge those kind of cards. You're right. Like it definitely had an impact. I mean, the deck went from being the best or very close to the best deck in the format to being barely rogue that can still perform but isn't really seen as a super competitive deck anymore. So absolutely it has changed. But yeah. It's not only due to the Sharvara hits though, it's also obviously due to fire release, right? Like it's just that's in hindsight, that's the frustrating thing about the Sharvara hits. Like I know at the time when they did it, it felt reasonable because it was the best deck and all that, but like now that we have the fire deck, I feel like it was just not correct to hit Sharvara because the deck wasn't gonna be a problem even with 3 Sharvaras. I would actually like to see what it could do with 3 Sharvaras. I still don't think it would make it top tier, but it would at least be more playable.
A hand trap and then link 2, and then most of the time I get to keep going. And then the SP, of course. I also played Unicorn, just in case I do get Fiend locked. This could have been realistically any other slot. This could have been any card. I thought about the rank 3, the DDD one, but I felt that Unicorn would come up, and I didn't make it. So this realistically could be anything. For the last of the links, I played 1 Oppo. This is for the combo I can show at the end. But yeah. That's it for the links.
I am interested in seeing the line that they go for now.
I played 1 Caesar. This is a god card. It still will be. 1 Machinex for the DDD. 1 Zeus and 1 Typhon. I didn't make Zeus, but there were times where I could have. I just felt like the Unchained board was enough, so I didn't make it.
Just check the prices. Why are Yama and Rage all at 16 each? That is indeed surprising. I didn't think they would still be expensive, but okay.
Typhon was crazy. Mainly
oh, you Bell. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, that's unfortunate. If you, yeah, okay. Okay. Yep. Fiendsmith too. Yeah. Unfortunate turn of events for the Unchained player base. Or like if you want to pick up Unchained, then yeah, that's unfortunate.
Fiend. So yeah.
The Year of the Fiends. Get ready, everybody. Year of the Fiends.
And then onto the side deck. I run 3 Ghost Spell, 3 Mourner. So post side against Snake Eye, I side in 6 more hand traps. So yeah, that bumps up my hand trap count to 18, which I feel like is fine in this deck because the deck has a really easy time breaking the fireboards as long as you play correctly. I played 3 Dark Ruler. I played this because I was anticipating more Voiceless Voice. This deck has a fair matchup versus that, but I just wanted to solidify the matchup by drawing this card.
Pure Unchained players down bad, but not gonna lie, Sharvara at 1 might be a good thing for later down the line. The Fiendsmith YouTube combos scare me. Yeah, but like I think it's hard to argue that that's Sharvara's fault. Like, I get that, but like at that point, yeah, you get what I'm saying, right? But yeah.
Same thing goes with these 3 cards. I played 2.
Sharvara should stay at 1? Really? I don't know if I agree with that. I don't think Sharvara is the problem.
Lightning Storm 1 Duster. I just wanted an edge over the back row that says I can't target the Voiceless Voice cards. So if I clear that, I can most likely win the game because clearing a negate is really easy in this deck. It also has overlap versus the Snake Eyes deck, which is now playing Summon Limit over Anti-Spell. So these cards actually, the 3 Dark Rulers, and
as long as they ban Caesar, Sharvara can go back to 3. See, at that point, I think the problem that you have right now is you're thinking way too logical about this. Because you're 100% right, which is probably why they're not going to do that. Like, banning Caesar is way too smart of a hit.
These cards can also go against Pure. It depends on how they're playing and if I know them. But yeah, I felt like these cards were great. And then the War Crime, I played 2 Anti-Spell, 1 Rivalry. This could have been 3 Anti-Spell, but I decided to play Rivalry because I just wanted to only play 3 Floodgates. And Rivalry is like one of the most impactful Floodgates right now. If I play against Snake Eye, then they can't really deal with it. They have no way to clear it.
Hit me with those. Hit me with Floodgate Theory. I love Floodgate Theory.
If you can set up your board, like half board of Caesar Rage plus Anti-Spell, more than enough, you're going to be winning all of those games. As long because like in the grind game, as long as you have Anti-Spell up, you almost for sure win. So yeah, that's the profile, and I'll go over a quick combo right now. The standard 2-card combo is the same end board essentially, but there's a combo that I've been doing if I happen to draw specifically these 2 that also ends on an Appaloosa. So yeah, so let me go through it. So I would set this, I would set any of my traps, Speller Trap, summon Shavara.
Okay, so we're drawing Shavara for this.
This is where you can summon one of two cards. You can summon either Aruha or Rakea, but for this example, I'll just summon Aruha. You link 2 into the Yama. You do Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2.
Technically, if it's summoning Yama with a Shavara engraved, you could do the exact same thing with Tour Guide though, right? Because you get to this exact spot with Tour Guide. Like Tour Guide summon Rhino, make Yama, Rhino sends Shavara. You're at the same spot, except you don't have the trap or the other Unchained in the graveyard, which maybe is important, but I doubt it.
Where you set the other one, and then
you need the Aruha, okay.
Sarama. From here, you can normal summon Sarama. Use the effect.
We haven't normaled, right? Of course, my bad. Yeah.
Targeting the Unchained monster in graveyard that you haven't used to set it, pop it, and then use the effect to summon Sarama.
Okay. Yeah, it's different. Okay,
here,
I see.
This is really crucial because there's no point for them to nib. If they nib here, then you'll have this in graveyard, and then this, the Yama's still alive, so you're able to just repop it. Special, if you want, you can Yama to special summon this back, and then both can trigger. But yeah, so from here, you're still nib proofed. You would link 2 into the Rage. Same thing here. If they want to nib, it's there's no point in doing it because then you still end on Rage Caesar. So from here, you make the Oppo. So now you're protected from nib. This is where you can activate Blue Dog, popping the trap. Then you can do Chain Link 1 Yama, Chain Link 2, where you would summon this, and then you would summon the Disaster from deck, which now comes up because this is super important for recurring your engine. Because you have a new Shyama effect on field, you can use it targeting the Disaster, popping it, which then reborns back the Rage. And then from here, you can overlay these two for a Caesar. And that's the Oppo combo that I've been doing if I happen to...
Okay, that's still pretty good. It does... You do need to draw, what is it, Sharvara or the Rhoda? So that's only 4 copies. So not very often that you're going to be able to do this, but still decent. Ban Appo? Yes, but they're reprinting it in Rarity Collection 2, Kappa, so they're not going to do it, Smile. Yeah, the list itself, honestly, isn't that special because it's pretty much just Unchained for how it's like the same way it's been for a long time now. I just found it interesting that they did manage to win a regional with it, so I wanted to hear their thoughts on it. Yeah, interesting. Now this one I actually want to see. This is a 2nd place regional sprite deck profile, and it's got Promethean in the thumbnail. I'm listening.
All right, introduce yourself.
I'm Alan Vera, and I got 2nd place at the Kissimmee Regional, 340 players with going for Sprite.
Any shout-outs?
Shout outs to my friends Erickson, Marcos, Junior. I rode up with them. They were really chill.
Princess is Elf? Princess is Elf, if you really think about it.
Erickson also got top 8 with Salamangre, which was pretty cool. And shout out to this little guy, little good luck charm. And shout out to my mom, my dad, my family.
White people happy?
So yeah, let's start off. I played the standard lineup of triple 3/3 for blue and jet, obviously the best ones arguably. These cards were insane all day. And then I played 2 carrot, 2 red. I think 2/2 is better just because being able to hard open these and have installation for your combo without having to commit searches or specials to them is so strong.
This is just Josh wearing a bucket hat. I have proof of being at a German regional, so no.
I love these things, having them at multiples also lets me search them for follow-up if one gets removed. Card felt amazing. I also played Pixies. This card was really good. Just having a 5th name to summon is very good, and also just helping me deal with huge monsters is really strong. After that, I played Triple Beaver as my normal summon. My main normal summon was really good. I love this card all day, except when I drew it with Angler, but even then it still makes boards, which is nice. And I played Double Angler. 1 Angler is way too risky in my opinion. Having Double Angler is nice because even worst case scenario, just having a 2 to normal out if I don't have Beaver to start special sprites is good. And 1 Meowmite. This card was good. You make it in conjunction if you can establish IP. Or even just like having it as an extender is nice because you can end on like that along with Sprint or any Link 2 and like Red Carrot. And then you can do like a little wombo where your opponent activates an effect. Let's say there's some princess.
I like Meowmine.
You can do something like, let's say something, any big guy or any threat, and you negate something with like Red Carrot, and you.
It's a little weird to be playing 1 copy, because if you're playing 1, you can't really sprint for it. because you're gonna sprint for Angler, I assume, most of the time, right? That's why you're playing the package, because it's probably part of your first turn combo. I guess if you open normal summon plus a Sprite Blue or Jet, you can summon this with Gigantic to put it into the graveyard. You can do that, yeah, that's fair enough.
Tribute a Leech Monster with this in graveyard. You can then banish this from graveyard and just get an additional bounce in addition to that, making it really good. Then there's like non-level 2s, triple Fenrir, helps break boards, extra labor interaction going first. The card was insane. This card, honestly, I'm surprised it's at 3. I love this thing, very happy it's at 3 still. And Triple Lash, really good. I cited it out games 2-3 versus Fire King, Snake Eye versus Snake Eye, because I think it's too risky having any like fires in graveyard against that deck. Giving them extra ways to combo.
I mean, you play Red and Carrot anyway, so like that's kind of pointless, especially unless going second. But even then, I think Ash 2 was too solid.
Hand traps, still really good though. Obviously, like I think it's still very much worth main decking than Triple Veiler. This used to be Droll, then used to be Nib, but like I don't like those cards right now. Like at least I think they're good still, but I just prefer Veiler having more utility into every matchup. Veiler will always be useful to some degree unless your opponent's like having Shifter or something. I think Veiler is just really strong. I love that card.
Congrats on second.
Thank you. Then there is Triple Sprite Starter. Starter is really good. I'm glad it's back at 3. Just being able to be a 1-card full combo is super good. And yeah, the card felt amazing as well. I love this thing. Then 1 Smashers. This is really good in this meta. Having a non-targeting banish in a format where a lot of cards want to hit grave is really nice. Very happy with that. And then power spells like triple pot. I consider it power spell. It gives me access to my deck. I love this thing. Amaze is still at 3 as well. Card was insane. I adored this thing. And triple attack. Triple attack. Okay. Just I never use a draw effect. I just like.
We're doing the thing that I'm not a fan of, unfortunately. We're doing the some hand traps, some power spells approach. Okay, I don't love that, but sure.
Having it in addition to like. Because I'll usually be fine with my hand, don't really need to draw anything else, just like...
The thing is, like, I don't see Sprite, out of all things, breaking a board going second if you draw, like, Fenrir, or Talents, or even Fenrir plus Talents. I still think that's not enough. Like, unironically, if you allow your opponent to do Snake Eye combo, and then you open... Even if you open Fenrir, Talents, Beaver, Sprite Blue, I don't think that's enough. I don't think you're gonna do it.
Have my card board, then rip a hand trap, or rip an extender, or rip a starter from my opponent's hand, or just one going second, steal something. I had a game where I stole my opponent's Fenrir with it, and then searched another Fenrir.
They did say going first, right? So maybe you just go first every time. You look your opponent into the eyes and say, like, I'm playing going first.
So that way I can just link theirs off, and then just like have one for a follow-up, just in case they crack my board back.
Can you still activate Veiler when under a Dimensional Shifter? You cannot. It needs to go to the graveyard.
Really good. Foolish Burial, 1-card combo, really good. Send an Angler into full combo, very nice card, love that thing. Then Triple Imperm, other good hand trap, does not turn on Talents, cannot stress that enough, is so good. And then 1 Double Cross. Double Cross is amazing, I love this thing. That card is also stupid good. You can use it as a combat trick. Like,
we just love all of our cards, very wholesome.
Your opponent that clears an attack on your Gigantic, you can chain it, like attach a link like from Graver or something onto Gigantic. Oh, Gigantic's bigger now, they die. Really good card. That was the main deck. Then we have the extra deck. Extra deck. I played 1 sprint. Some people play 2. I think that's fine as well. But I think 1 is enough. I think this card is really good. Just having a form of interaction on your opponent's turn, and
we just die going second with this. I mean, we don't just die. It's definitely not. You don't have no chance. You still play 3 Veiler, 3 Imperm, 3 Ash, so you still got 9 hand traps. And then if your opponent maybe plays a little bit suboptimally and you pair one of those hand traps with like a Talons or a Fenrir, it's okay. I don't think it's ideal going second, right? I don't think it's ideal for going second. Let's say it like that. But it's still okay. It's not terrible.
Your turn when it comes back to you, if it still stays on board, in addition to being the combo enabler, is so good. This card was amazing. Then 1 Beat Caught. Never summoned this at all today. Still keep it in. Idea? When it comes up, it's really good. Also, I just like having the shiny cards. It's nice.
Mystic Mine.
1 IP. IP was really good. Summoned it a handful of times today. Also, just like into decks that are very pop heavy, being able to make it and then get installation for stuff like SP is really nice. Then there is Dark to Dark Charmer and Heat to the Fire Charmer. Really good cards. This came up a lot today. This came up a lot today. I would Just love them. Like, they make really rough hands being able to do combo as well by stealing like an opponent's Link 2 into Gigantic. Really good. 2 SPs. One's too little in my opinion. Having one for opponent's turn and one for crackback is really strong. I adored this card as well. Amazing all day. Then 2 Gigantic. You do not need a third in my opinion. Very good card. Enough said about it. It is stops nib, stuff like that. Really good. Mannequin Cat, really good card as well. Against Cashier, you can do silly stuff like Yachter board, Mannequin Cat back, an Ash Blossom onto their field, and then just summon a red in addition to them being stuck on it is really good. Then One Only Be Maru, did not summon this at all today, still would keep it in. Card is way too good when it comes up. Ninja Shadow Mosquito, helped me OTK and win like 2 different matches. This card is very good. I love that thing. Then 1 Cat Shark. Cat Shark is really good, lets you OTK as well with different means. Because this is only good if your opponent's a beefy guy. This is good if, like, even in times boards. I love that thing. Then Downer Zeus. I didn't
We just love everything.
Downer Zeus anyone today, but having the capacity to, like, the opponent will know that I have it in there. Just the fact that they know can force concessions because it's like, oh, I just threatened a Zeus, and it's like, damn, I can't beat this. All right, game 2. And then the side deck.
Maybe, yeah, maybe it is their Billy Break cosplay. Yeah, maybe it's that.
1 Red Resonator. Never summoned this today.
Tuner.
Never went to time because I'm a gamer. Then 1 End Up Anubis.
I'm a
This card was
gamer.
really funny in the game I summoned it. It's just like says Grave no work anymore. Card was awesome. Ibly, never summoned this today. Still keep it in. It's way too good when it's relevant. Then there's Triple Soul Release. Never came up once today, but that's mostly because I just didn't open it. Card was really good. Card's really good when it does work. I just didn't see it today, but I still won games without it. And Triple Cosmic, this was the card I cited in the most today. This card is beyond bonkers. I adore this thing.
Dark Magician, thank you for the 13 months and the kind words. Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
And I love having it. It's good into Flu, good into Cash. Good
Yeah, we
into
love everything except for the floodgates. We didn't say we love those. So
Stake Eye
base.
Team, good into everything. It's good into literally everything because a lot of decks have back row in addition to
It was really good, but I didn't draw it. Is a quote of all time. Yeah.
monsters because having full monster boards gets you
And
blown out by too
floodgates.
many things.
And the floodgates.
Yeah.
Spell.
Maybe
this card was
the
amazing.
presence of it being in the deck makes them feel really good. And so they win games because of it, because they know it's in there somewhere and they're going to draw it eventually. And that gives you the energy to win the game.
I had a game where my opponent had summon limit on my second summon and I just like chained this. They chained the second one, they chained the second one. It's like, okay, game 2. I mean game 3. That was funny. Double Lightning Storm. Lightning Storm's really strong as well. The fact that I also hit some monsters is really good because sometimes you don't want to hit the back row versus Snake Eyes because they just chain Flamberge, but being able to like interact with certain stuff like in the monster lineup was really nice. Also just really good for like Floodgate decks, stuff like that. Just really good to like
I don't know if I like siding Lightning Storm against Snake Eyes. I really don't think it's that great.
Flu, Cash, all that stuff.
Didi Ice Tea, thank you for the 17 months. And Alkali Tiorte, thank you for the 5. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much.
Well, Feather Duster, same thing but a little more narrow, but having more utility, like you can have a board
Dude, Ulti Duster is nice.
with it already on field. Really good. Floodgate of Choice, I spell. Came up a handful of times today. I love this card.
Oh, we love the floodgate. No, it's ruined. Oh, no. You just had to not say it one last time. Ah, no. We were so close. This is the last card. Ah, no. Self-report at the end. Unfortunate.
Well,
Deck profile ruined.
Yeah, I love really stupid
My
Floodgate
disappointment
cards
is
that win games
immeasurable.
when I know I'm going first no matter what. And yeah, that's the profile.
Okay, thank you.
Nah, literally all we had to do is not say I love it for 5 seconds. Ah. Nah, pretty base though. Pretty base though. I like the energy in that deck profile. That was cool. Can someone explain this to me? Herman, I know you're in chat. I blame Herman. I blame Herman for this. No matter what happens. Volcanic FTK, I blame Herman.
What's going on, fellas? We have Ricardo McBride right here. Ricardo, what did you do today?
I got 4th place at the Stone Mountain Regional with Volcanic FTK.
All right, awesome. Is there, you want to go ahead and get down to the profile?
Yeah, let's go right on into it. So, the Volcanic portion of this deck is the most significant portion of it. Like, all of these cards are pretty crucial to what it's trying to do, and like if there's any questions, feel free to ask, but I'm just gonna get right into it. So the main engine piece of the
Dude,
Volcanic.
I can't focus on the profile when the music is jamming in the background.
Is Volcanic Trooper. He has 2 effects, which are both super important. On summon, he searches for a volcanic card, and as an ignition effect, you can discard a card to give your opponent a bomb token. That second effect is vital for the
That's a lot of cards. How many is that? That has to be 60.
FTK. So, I mean, yeah, he just does a lot. Following
Dude, what? Look how many cards that is.
him up, there is 3 Shell. If you've ever played Volcanics before, you know what he does. When he's engraved, you pay 5 to get a copy of himself, and he's important as he's ever been. Followed by 3 Scattershot, who is kind of the worst one of the Volcanics when you draw him, depending on your hand composition. But he is important for another card in the deck that I don't think I would cut, because it solves too many problems, and when you're not doing the FTK, it reinforces your board a lot. Plus, funny enough, the extra 5 when he's sent to grave just helps you get there sometimes. The next one of the very strong members of the Volcanic package is Rimfire. He has 2 effects that are both once per turn when he hits grave. You can banish him to send a Volcanic monster from your deck to grave, or you can banish a Blaze Accelerator card from your field or grave.
So, just before we continue, the FTK for Fire King, they didn't say yet what they do, but I'm pretty sure it's just a combination of different little burns, or sometimes bigger burns, right? It's like you have a bunch of cards that burn, and so I think combined enough of them, they do 8,000, right? But they do have to like pass over to the opponent, right? I think that's the thing. They need to like pass. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Place the Blaze Accelerator card face up on your field.
No, I'm pretty sure it's not Blaze Phoenix. I'm pretty sure it's not an actual FTK. I mean, it's like a pseudo FTK kind of thing.
He's like incredible. The fact he's basically a 2-for-1. He's just, yeah, he's great.
They die in draw
following
phase?
up,
Okay.
we have 2 Emperor, who is both an essential part of the FTK, but just like a really good card in general. For those who don't know what he does, he can summon himself from hand or grave by banishing either 3 Pyro monsters from your grave or 1 Blaze Accelerator card from field or grave. On summon, he burns your opponent for 5 for each banished Pyro and sets a Volcanic spell trap. That's the main way you enable your FTK, and then also when he's on field, when you fall short of FTK, he burns your opponent for 5 every time they special. So if you manage.
What I do think about the I've said before, I think the Volcanic cards are pretty good. So I think what makes this deck at least capable of doing well in a tournament is that I don't think you're completely lost whenever you don't pull off the OTK or /FTK, or when you have to go second. Like, I don't think this deck is completely dependent on FTKing the opponent. Like, I'm pretty sure you have other stuff that you can do that can win you games. It'd be interesting to know how often, or like how many games they like went first and how many times they had to pull off the FTK. Maybe they say that.
To not FTK them, playing into this will usually kill them, which is just as well. And that also plays in the other aspect of this deck where it forces your opponent to end the game. If they don't end the game and you get another turn, you will end the game pretty much every time. The main search target.
If you get to a second turn, your opponent usually dies immediately to Volcanic Emperor summon effect.
For our Trooper are 3 Volcanic Blade.
The one that you played at YCS Bologna, you played like the same concept, but you didn't play the FTK cards, right? You just played like a Volcanic Fire King pile, but no FTK cards, right?
Accelerator. I'll have to go over this as well because, again, people might not know what it does. It has 2 effects that are soft once per turns. You target a monster your opponent controls and send a level 1 Pyro from your field to grave and destroy it.
This card is really cool.
And you can also, once per turn, special summon a Volcanic monster from your hand. So that's once per copy of this card, which is really good with Rimfire, wherever he wound up. So if you activate one and send a Rimfire, you can get another copy of it to then do that again and then function as another extender for whatever Volcanics you might have in your hand. This card is one of the main pieces you use to break boards and also a crucial combo piece going first, funny enough, because of Trooper. This is a brick that you have to play to activate it. The card says to activate it, you have to send this from deck to grave. It is a little whack, but sometimes you draw it going second, and it's actually pretty strong because it'll either just, in conjunction with like a scatter
It's
shot
not
or a shell.
actually that bad at breaking boards if you have like a shell and your opponent doesn't out it. Like it can force your opponent to make like SP Little Knight or something like that. If they, yeah.
Trade for a lot of monsters on board, or people will just like shotgun things to remove it, which is also fine because
So much love in these profiles, and that is why I kind of wanted to do this today, because that's kind of what happens in a tier 0 format. You have like 3 kinds of people, right? You have people that play tier 0, you have people that play like Troll Despair anti-decks like Flu and Stun, and then you have people who just say fuck it, it's tier 0 format, I'm gonna just play what I like and what I think is cool, right? And that's the kind of stuff we're looking at today.
The next, this is the enabler for your scatter shot, is reload. It has 2 effects. People might be familiar with it, but in case they aren't, you when it's face up on field, you can send
so today is not about like evaluating each of these decks and like how good exactly they are, because I mean none of them are the best deck in the format. We're not trying to find that today. We already know what that is. They're all like some level of playable rogue, right? And so like we don't need to get into the specifics and all nitty gritty with it. Like I just wanted to like give some exposure to the creativity in the format and all that kind of stuff. I think is the main point of this, which I think is cool.
It from hand to grave to draw a card, and while it's in grave, you can banish it to send a volcanic monster from your deck to grave. So that does a few things. Like
one reload, I guess, no goods. Yeah, I don't think they're super focused on like the board clear with the scatter shot, because they're trying to do the burn kill anyway. So technically, no need to really clear your opponent's board over and over and over.
Said, one, it turns scattershot into a very strong interruption, but also it insulates your FTK from a few things that would otherwise stop it. And the way I set up the board in this deck, it helps to make sure the FTK is going through. There's almost no non-engine that stops it once you get to it, so this helps with that. And then our only Emperor target is a mission, which is also the key piece of the FTK. It has 2 effects. One is you target a pyro monster on the field. If it's yours, you burn for half its attack. If it's your opponent's, you burn for all of its attack. And then its second effect lets you summon a volcanic monster from your deck, ignoring summoning conditions. So that's just really good. Like I said, if you don't FTK them, you can make your opponent have to play through 2 of these, or play into 2 of them, which means every time they special, they'll take 5. And on your turn, he's going to be doing an average of 2,000 damage to them. It's usually going to be 25, but they take 25 off this, and then if you have 2 of those on board, that leaves them not very many summons before they die.
Anyone here? The voice gives me major Dubk Dad vibes. Anyone hear where I'm coming from? Anyone remember?
Another volcanic trap that I kind of sort of wanted to play, that's just a monster negate basically for an effect on the field, but I didn't want to put too many bricks in the deck, so I don't have that here. I just played the stuff that
okay, Boomer.
FTK,
yeah, sorry.
So that's all the volcanic cards, and then followed up, of course, we have a Snake Eye package, which is 3 Diabellstar and 3 Wanted.
Don't hold
you
me.
Really want to see this, so I maxed out on it, even though it kind of sucks if you draw too many copies of her, but it's better than not seeing her at all usually. Then following up, we have 1 of each of the little roaches. One and one big roach.
Oh, there's even Birch. Do you need Birch?
One of all of them was plenty. I never really wanted any more, because I'd rather be giving my normal summon to Trooper, honestly. And I had way too many times where I drew him as is, so I never wanted 2 of them. But all of these guys are really good. Like, if you've played with these cards or against these cards, you know what they do, and they're the best volcanic support that's ever come out. And these engines bridge really well into each other. Oh, and a nice thing to point out, if
there was no bonfire yet. I mean, I'm sure there's bonfire. Like, there's no way this deck doesn't play bonfire.
You wouldn't realize, since this sends a level 1 pyro, if you're doing a line,
I thought this was rogue. It can still be rogue if it plays the Snake Eye cards. There's so many people that when they see a single card that is represented in a meta deck, they immediately go completely brain AFK and be like, oh god, you're such a meta sheep. This is a 60 card volcanic deck, and because they showed a Snake Eye engine, you're like, oh, I'm so disappointed. I thought this was a rogue deck. Like, come on, man.
Princess, because this is a fire deck, and obviously we're playing Promethean Princess, you can dump one of your Snake Eyes to then bring back off of her and extend from there. So all those guys are great.
2-head energy.
And they help you just make a board when you're not FTKing.
Massive 2-head
which didn't happen
energy.
often. Pretty much every time I went first in that event, I FTK'd, even through like 2 hand traps. Then next you have a Divine Temple. This card's great.
Baited?
Helps you play.
Nah. You can't just get out of the situation by saying baited kick W. That doesn't work. That doesn't work all the time. I simply won't believe you. You were serious. I could see it. I could feel your 2-head aura.
Through things, around things, just gives you extra cards to extend. It also helps you set up OTK lines for when you're going second and you think they might have nib, so then you can kill them after they nib you, and then the one original simple spoils, because it's phenomenal, obviously. Then even more engine, we have a small Fire King package.
Everyone's here. Fire
like
Kings too. Nah, Meta Sheep. Fire King, Meta Sheep.
Each of all these guys,
disgust me.
2 Island and 1 Sanctuary. This could probably go to 1, but you do like opening it because it, it just lets you play through things more. He's probably the worst one. I cited him out a lot, but I felt like 5 was the right count to have.
OG Kieran? Yeah, OG Kieran is actually kind of good. If OG Kieran gets destroyed, you can foolish any fire monster.
Know what these cards do. They do the same thing here, except that we play this to destroy off of this, and when this is destroyed, it sends a fire monster from your deck to the grave. So that's another way to make your engines bridge into the volcanic cards. And all of those are really good. I never regretted them. And then even more engine, we have 3 Unsteady, 1 Happy, and 2 King Sark.
This is Herman's fault. This is Herman's fault. This deck is Herman's fault. I blame Herman.
The deck another push because I kind of felt like it needed it. You could probably get away with one of this, but it's good to have a second one on like follow-up turns. Yeah, these are just good. People, Zombie Vampire is crazy, which is the only rank 8 in the extra deck. Spoiler warning, I guess, but those guys were awesome. I never regretted having them. Then the main FTK enabler is Greater Inari Fire and Spiritual Fire Arc.
Oh, is this one of the? This is the weird thing that you just summon straight from your deck without even. Does it even start a chain? It's just. I always imagine. I've never played one of these cards, and I've never played against anyone using these cards. But just like I find the concept behind these super weird, because, like, imagine your opponent in like an open game state just picks up their deck and goes through it. Like, it seems so awkward to me. You're just like, and especially like you pick up your 60 card deck in an open game state. Your opponent is like, what the hell are you doing? And you're like, hold up, I got it. Give me a second. Give me a minute. I'll have it to you. You'll see in a second. Hold up. No, any moment now. Any moment. It'll make sense. Trust me. It'll make sense. I'll get there.
A lot of people don't know what this guy does. He's one of the undefined from deck summons. So he summons by sending a level 1 or level 4 or lower monster and a spellcaster from field to grave. And when he's sent to grave, he adds this from your deck to your hand. Also, on his summon by that effect, you burn your opponent for the attack of a monster they have on your field. And I'll explain how exactly the FTK goes when we get there. But this card just says tribute fire monster.
It out. Imagine you cited it out and you go through your 60 card deck like 4 times, you can't find it. That'd be so funny, man.
Deal damage to your opponent equal that monster's attack. So basically,
what would even happen, dude? You just picked up your deck for no reason and went through it. No, I don't even want to think about that. I don't even want to think about that. It was like, I thought it was there, man. Sorry, I just felt like picking up my deck and looking through it.
This plus Emperor plus a mission to kill him. Then even more engine. There are 2 Magician Souls.
Oh, God.
This is like the random monsters in a Jet Synchron. This is a good pivot send for the Baby Kieran. This is just more access to Dia Bellstar and also a way to get extra draws because this deck has a lot of spots where it winds up with random extra spell traps on field. Those are all really good. Was very happy to have them. And then of course the 3 Bonfire because we're playing deck full of Pyro monsters. It doesn't just get Snake Eyes, it gets everything in this deck. Then a 1 of Monster Reborn as another random extender. It's also just randomly stronger this format because of fire mirrors basically. Then a 1-for-1 because it's like the best extender you could play with this stuff. And then Fire Recovery. If people don't know this card, it's basically like a bad Monster Reborn. You activate it, you target a fire monster in your grave, and you send a card from hand to grave and then special summon that monster. But while it's in grave, you can banish it to target 3 banished fire monsters, or banish or grave fire monsters, shuffle them in deck to draw a card. That's really good in combination with Shell because it turns 1 copy of Shell into like 5 cards, so that's great. And then the only non-engine in the main deck is 3 triple attack of Talent because everybody else is on hand traps.
Not 60,
and
right?
Combo, this will rip their hand trap out of their hand, or if your hand just needs a little more gas, it can draw you cards going second. Obviously, it's really strong in the boards.
I don't get the 1 recovery with no goods. Nah, you don't get it. You don't get it. You either have it or you don't, right? So it's whatever, man.
Yeah, that's the main deck, and I was relatively happy with all of it. Like I said, the only thing I'd consider changing is maybe cutting Island to 1 and maybe not playing Avarda at all, but it was all very good.
Well, this is a Highlander deck.
Won, like, I think 3 die rolls in the event, so I went second a lot and was killing people through their boards, and I guess like I said, I'll explain a little bit of that when we get to it. This is my bomb token.
Real quick, what's your main deck count?
60 double sleeved. So.
Okay, that explains it. Okay, it has inner sleeves. Okay.
Maybe you can make it smaller, but all the cards are really good. If you're at 60, you get to play more good cards, you know? But
sure.
That aside, we'll go on to the extra deck, which is 15, obviously. Pretty standard fire stuff, really. It's Link Revo, everybody knows this little guy's great. Anima, which isn't just like a gacha like the other fire decks we're playing for a while. It's actually part of the combo, because if you recall, Inari Fire is like a spellcaster. Is a spellcaster. You have tons of ways to generate level 1 bodies.
What do you need to send for the Inari thing? Let me pull that up, because a lot of people probably don't know what that does. Yeah, here it is. This one I'll swap to English. This is the one, right? Greater Inari Fire. You can special summon this card from hand or deck by sending a spellcaster and a level 4 or lower fire you control to the graveyard. So legit, it doesn't even start a chain. You just go into your deck and summon it. And when it's special summoned, by its effect, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to the original attack of one monster they control. If this card is sent from field to grave, you can add the trap card, Spiritual Fire Art, from deck to your hand, right? And so like it's, I guess it maybe does a little bit of burn damage if your opponent still has like the bomb token. Does the bomb token have attack, or is that first effect not relevant? I guess it could be if you go second, or they have like nib or something like that. It's 1k, 1k. Okay. The Possessed Charmers also do this, no? I think there's more cards that do this, yeah, but the important part here is that this searches the trap card that does burn damage, right?
That's what he's there for. Then moving on from that, it's IP, Phoenix, which was great. You know, sometimes you draw Flamberry Dragon going second. There's a way to get out of hand and keep playing. Sunlight Wolf, Pit Knight early as like a pivot option for when you're not FTKing. SP, the 2 Charmers, Celine. I don't know why more people don't play this in fire decks, but she was great to try to get into like an early Appaloosa and
literally a fire pile.
The obvious Promethean Princess.
I can't really say it any other way.
Just because I can't think of anything to cut, because literally all of these cards came up on the day except for this.
It's 1,000, then you kill it for another 500. Yeah, so you do 1,500 from that on the first turn. How big is Volcanic Emperor? It's like over 3,000, right? $31, right? 31, 25 from Emperor. So you do 1,500 from that. You do 2,500 from Emperor's effect. So that's 4k. You do 3,100 from the trap card when you tribute the Emperor. And where do you get the last 15? Oh, Emission. Emission does 15. Okay.
Like I said, pretty much every time I went first, I have
so you have 8,600 damage in your standard like stuff. And in case your opponent, so what you said earlier is like if your opponent has like a Cosmic Cyclone, I mean Cosmic Cyclone costs them 1,000 anyways. So even if they get to Cosmic Cyclone and stop some of the damage, they still have to pay 1,000, and you can like make up for the lost damage with like scatter shots and stuff like that, right? Ideally, you want Reloading Grave to help have an extra 50, yeah, which is the scatter shots, right? Yeah, okay.
The Ambler Whale, which I know a lot of people have cut from their decks, but it actually does have cool synergy in this deck because
they take 500 for each special summon too. Yeah, it's like a mini Masquerade as well. Yeah. Very annoying overall. Not too bad, honestly. Not too bad. It's probably better like this. It's probably better that you like combine a bunch of different burn effects to do 8,000 rather than have one big one, because if it would only be one effect, then if your opponent had a way to stop that one, you wouldn't have a win condition. But this one seems like even if your opponent has like an answer somewhere to one of your burn cards, you can just like make up for it in other places and you're not completely dependent on one effect. It's low-key Trickstar with big attack monsters, which isn't a very nice way to describe a deck. Yeah, it really isn't, but that doesn't necessarily make it bad. It sounds fun to play. It's another one of those instances where I think this deck looks very fun to play. I don't know if it's that fun to play against, especially if you just get FTK'd, you know?
You do your princess lines, you'll often make this first, and then you can Trooper to give them a bomb token, and then bring back your Princess popping this and the bomb token you gave them, and then this will float into whatever you used to make it, which would be like Sunlight Wolf or something. So you still like net extra bodies overall with it.
Yeah, it's even better than what Herman played at Bologna because Princess wasn't out yet. So that definitely gives you a lot more like lines and stuff. That's pretty interesting.
Great for later. And it also came up just having big stats, funny enough. But yeah, this guy was solid. The Appaloosa, the Axis Code Talker to just do OTK lines, and the one Zombie Vampire as the only rank 8 for our Horus package to try to help it bridge into the other engines.
The way I see it, it's like an updated version of Herman's YCS Bologna deck, which has Promethean Princess now, which is a huge boost, obviously, with all the Snake Eye cards being a lot better now. Plus, they incorporated the FTK cards instead of Herman, who just tried to make a board with it, which is fair enough, I suppose. I would definitely still classify it as like somewhere in tier 2 or 3. Like it's definitely, yeah. I didn't. I'm not saying you copied it, but it's like it's a similar concept. It seems okay. It seems decent. I don't think it's like top tier material or anything, but like I said, that's not what today is about, right?
This, like I said, oftentimes you'll do this to try to go for lethal, and if they have nib, you can usually still kill them through it because of how the deck works. Because that's your goal when you go second.
Bro has
your goal
time wins down pat though. I mean, this is like this reminds me of when Herman lost with this deck in time when the opponent activated Kelbeck to mill them both for 5, which is a crazy thing to do against the Volcanic deck with 3 scatter shots and like other cards that mill scatter shots if they get milled. And somehow the tier player just ended up on top of Herman with burn damage because they hit more. Like I think what happened was Herman, they resolved I think Agido and Kelbeck, and Herman only hit 1 single scatter shot, and the opponent milled scattershot and then put it back with a shuffler and then milled it with sprint again, which meant that the opponent burned for 1,000 and Herman burned for 500, which is criminal activity when Herman's deck had 3 scattershot, 3 rimfire, and 3 blaze accelerator. Like scattershot burns for 500, but the other 2 no, especially specifically reload burns for 15 immediately. If they hit 1 reload, it's Jover.
Put their life points to 0, and that's usually what happens. Even if they still have all the follow-up in the world, it doesn't matter if they die. But before we go to the side real quick, I will explain like what the board the deck is trying to make is primarily. So the main thing you're trying to do when you go first with this is, like I said, FTK. And what that looks like is, at least on the inboard.
It was even worse than that. I had reload in hand and he used Mothman with 2 cards in hand. If I hit Mothman, he was down bad. That's even more. Yeah, that is even worse. You're right.
All that
Sorry for bringing that memory back up.
Is this. These are like tertiary, but so what happens on your turn is you do a total of 4,000 damage to your opponent, and then during the draw phase, there's an argument you should wait because of a few specific things, but if you do the combo, there's like ways to insulate you from all that. But you do 4,000 to them on your turn, then in their draw phase, you use this target.
So 4,000 was 1,000 from Great Arinari Fire because of the token having 1,000 attack. 500 when we destroyed the token, and then 2,500 from Emperor, right? That was the 4,000 that we were talking about.
Does 1550, and then you use this Tributing Emperor, and that does 31. So that's 8650 damage.
Okay.
The additional components of the board that I try to go for, and there's a myriad of ways to do it.
And then Emission burns for half of the attack of the Emperor, which is 1550, and then this burns for 31 after we tribute the Emperor, right? Yeah. So if they, what you said earlier, if they have Cosmic, if you activate Emission and they chain Cosmic on the Kurenai, wouldn't they still die though? Instantly? Do you even need more? Because you said, so they're on 4,000, right? You activate Emission, they chain Cosmic, pay 1,000, they go to 3,000. Can't you just chain Kurenai? Tribute the thing, deal 31? Even if your Emission doesn't have a monster anymore, like it's still 8,000.
And you do it pretty much every time.
I was
I try to set up
capping.
Appaloosa and SP alongside this to play around like the nib input.
Other quick play removal. Okay, so if your opponent plays MST, then okay. Or books. Do you have to tribute a face up for Kurenai? I guess, no, book would prevent the emission damage though. Yeah.
Combo. So that way when you go to your, because they do technically still get a turn despite it being an FTK. When you try to go to the end phase, if they nib.
All right, I get it. Cool. Interesting. Another interesting deck profile. Okay. I have one last that I wanted to go through before we hop into some Master Duel, and that is a Phantom Knight Horus deck that got top 32 at YCS Sydney. Let's go ahead and
Hey
look
guys,
that
we're
one.
here with Micah. What did you do this weekend?
This weekend I came top 32 at YCS Sydney, playing PK or Adventure or Horus combo, which some people are calling it for some reason.
Cool. So, what were your matchups today?
My matchups today, throughout Swiss, I played 1 Flu, 1 Runick Naturia, and 1 Eldritch Stun as sort of my like rogue matchups. And then naturally I versed 3 Pure Snake Eye and 4 Fire King Snake Eye.
What was your hardest matchup?
Hardest matchup was probably Flu. It's just, whilst
Shifter.
I got, yeah, it's Shifter. It's just Shifter. It's just Shifter.
Dude, I watched Nico's Flu deck from the regional that I went to. He got top 8. That deck looks scary, I'm not gonna lie.
Cool. Any shoutouts?
Yeah.
Like, is Flu just consistent now with the new quick play spell?
Shoutouts, starting with SCDD, or Floyd and Cam, and 23 cards.
Go deck.
For the PKs, we played 2 Torn Scales, 3 Boots, 2 Cloak, and 1 Ragged Gloves. With the traps, we got 3 Fogblade and 1 Wings.
You really only play 2 of this? Isn't this the best one?
I think this is the perfect ratio. We're just trying to maximize on good discards for the Horus engine. That's why we cut this one down to 2. And that's why we're not playing Stained Greaves or Shade Bringing In, just because they suck as discards.
Makes sense. Cool.
That was the main engine in the deck. Onto the adventure engine for the monsters, we played Enchantress and Griffin Rider, and then we got the 2 Rides, 1 Faithful, and 1 Dracobag.
I'm confused because of Master Duel, but right is at 3, right? I'm not saying it's wrong to play 2, I'm just double checking, but I don't think they hit anything for this in the TCG, right? So the reasoning is we play 3 Enchantress because it's a good discard for like Horus cards, and we don't want to play too many of the card to avoid drawing multiples. I see. Okay.
This engine was really good throughout the weekend. The consistent Omnigate before 5 helped play through Nib. The Dracobag is a continuous sort of disruption that keeps coming back on my turn. It really helped get rid of the floodgates that I was trying to verse.
Yeah,
So
you
it's really
definitely
good.
always
Helps me
play 3
around Summon Limit.
Enchantress. Yeah.
For my level 3 extender package, I played 2 Terratops with 1 Tuckatumborg. This engine is crazy.
Wait.
This card by itself is full combo with
Okay, Terror Top. Once again, maybe I'm confusing it with Master Duel, but isn't it also at 3? Or is... Oh, it is at 2. Okay.
without using my normal summon. And if
I mean, dude, you're playing Adventure Phantom Knight Horus. You already have like 1 billion bricks. Might as well play the Tuckatumborg. Honestly, it's not even the worst brick in your deck, so sure.
have a PK, it's just full combo, full stop. This card's not that worse of a brick just because the amount of wins in my deck. We got Levy.
Yeah, because you can summon this if you have any wind monster, right? So isn't one of the Horus cards a wind too? There's a water, a dark, an earth. What's the 4th one? One of them is wind, right? Happy might be wind. So you can just happy. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's not bad.
Happy,
Griffin is a win.
It's pretty live.
Yeah, that's alright.
And if it's not, it's always just a good discard for Horus. Speaking of which, Horus, we are maxed out on Imseti, and then we got the 1 Duamatef and 1 Happy. I maxed out on the names except for Queb because it sucks. It's just great. I love pushing for game with these. It just really helps. And then naturally I got 3 King Stocks.
So why 3 King Stocks specifically? Because most lists I see play 2.
Yeah, most lists play 2. You can play 2, but honestly, I wanted to maximize on seeing them.
I mean, this deck has infinite good discards, right? I agree on that. The field spell, the Horus field spell adds Imseti, and then you have to... Is it discard a card or put a card back to the deck? I think it's put a card back to the deck, right? Which makes it slightly worse. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Drawing multiples like
I mean,
this.
you can put back Kettenborg though if you have Terror Top.
And this is fine. This can bait out an Ash, and if they Ash you, you can just activate King Sock.
Put back Draco
if they
back?
don't, you get another King Sock
Anyone?
and you can draw a card. And then the second King Sock is just another discard, or realistically, you can just keep it in hand because they're going to try and out the first one on their turn, and then on the crackback, you can just activate again, summon 3 monsters, and attack the game. Engine worked really nicely, except these 2 cards loved being in my hand, which really hurts with the consistency of the deck. But it is what it is. And then for the non-engine, we played 12 non-engine with 3 nibs, 3 imperms, 3 talents, and then rounding out with 3 super polys.
Okay, so like kind
really
of Ward Breaker.
I didn't want to play Ash this format just because I don't want to play into Heater. This to dodge talents. Also, Imperm's just a crazy card this format. Talents to help with going second. You know, if they go for an Apo and they use one negate, you can just use it talents to take their Apo, and it just works out really nicely. You can also take a Flamberge to turn off a lot of stuff, like their ways of getting into their Princess and their follow-up.
One really cool thing about talents in this deck is taking Flamberge and overlaying with it cuts them off of the floating effect, right? That's pretty good. Like in most decks you can't do that, but in a deck that has rank 8s, overlaying the Flamberge is a great way to cut them off of the follow-up.
Probably was my niche little tech. It was alright. I'll probably be cutting it post-list, but I think it worked pretty well. Just making the Mud Dragon to help with targeting protection.
I saw you summon a Mud Dragon, call Wind, and then summon the Takatomborg out of hand. That was really cool.
Yeah, it's just 3 bodies. I use those 2 to make an SP. That way I can get the SP banished. It's just getting the bodies on the field. It's what you really need. But Mud Dragon, call Wind to summon Take, calling Dark to play around, like to support your
Mud
PK
Dragon
combo,
to summon out Takatomborg is
calling
crazy.
Fire to stop my opponent from princessing me. It all worked out really well. I like Mud Dragon. And then obviously Garou is just great for the draw.
What was your favorite card in the main deck?
Favorite card in the main deck? Oh, that one's tough. I think the card that I saw the most is Happy. Unfortunately, it doesn't actually make me happy to see this card.
Yeah.
I think I hated this card. But seriously, I think
called it hatred.
Yeah, true. But honestly, I like Terror Top the most. Every time I opened a hand and it was just 4 random cards and I saw a Terror Top, I was just instantly happy. This card's just insane. It never gets stopped because it never does too much, but it always just starts everything. So yeah, I really love that card. Going on to the extra deck, for the links, I played the best card in the deck straight up is Cherubini. It's protection. It sends level 3 for cost. It can't get responded to. It's just insane. It helps the adventure cards to clear boards, plays around Princess, everything. IP is great. It's fully end board to make an SP. SP is pretty standard. It's such a great card. It's probably one of the best cards in the game. Dark's also natural. It's just a way of link climbing, taking a monster. It's just a 2-card Rusty access, and Rusty of which you can just get the access to your PKs in grave, your Fog Blades on field. Surprisingly, a searchable imperm is pretty good this format. That rounds it off for the links. For the Xyz, for the rank 3s, we played 1 Livier. This card's really good. It's 2 cards, protects the PKs from being banished when they leave the field because they're materials. It's a 2-card making SP. 2 Breaksword. Breaksword is needed. You go through 1 for the combo and then you use the other one to help with the OTK. Naturally, for the OTK, we're playing Raiders Knight Arc Rebellion. This card just gains a lot of attack and attacks directly. For the Horus Engine, I played this to help play around Nib if I already have Engine. And if I don't have Engine, obviously I'm going to be playing Zombie Vampire just to mill 4 and summon. This card's crazy. I had an interaction where I didn't mill anything on my end, but my opponent milled an Ash, which was all I needed. So I just took the Ash Blossom and I used it as a level 3 to make Cherubini. It was really good. Then of course we got the 1 Zeus. Need to have it in the deck. There's a bunch of Xyz.
Oh, it's only 2 super poly targets. Just Garura and Mud Dragon.
And the Mud Dragon for the extra deck. Super poly targets. So that was it for the extra deck. Going on to the side deck, I played 3 Joel. 3 Joel is really good this format. It's alright against the Snake Eye. It's not really the best. I never sided in against it, but when you're going against the Fire Kings, it really put in the work. just stopping them from getting the actual Fire King engine going with like Island and stuff. It really helps, and they search a popular and you draw them. It's just really powerful. I played 2.
Any chance you play some Goaty someday? It's got some good matchups this meta if piloted correctly, and I would love to see you play it. I mean, the chance is not zero. I don't have any specific plans on it, but like my issue sometimes is that there's like way too many decks in Yu-Gi-Oh, and I just don't have all the time to play all of them. And I don't know if like I've looked at Goaty a couple times, and it just never really felt like something I wanted to play. He can play Runick in Goaty, so you already know he's got a build already made. No, I don't. I actually don't. I looked at the version before, obviously, but it didn't feel that appealing to me.
2 Bells. Bell was really good this format. You could even main deck it. I think post YCS, I'm gonna be swapping out these super polys, probably for Veilers, and I'll keep Bells on the side. But I'll probably up this on up to 3. I just think this one performed really well, just stopping stuff like Flare Mage and everything. 3 Droplets. This card didn't get sided in too much. This one's mainly for the rogue decks. It doesn't really hurt the fire decks too much. But I think you gotta have it in there. 3 Cosmics. Cosmic is there. It banishes the IP. It helps against floodgates. You can't really get summon limit when you have this. Helps against anti-spell. And then if you're investing the Fire King, you can do this, banishing the island in the draw phase. Kind of just like stops a lot of their interactions.
How can I practice knowing all the cards? Should I just study flashcards all day? I mean, it's a good question. Maybe it helps to know that even I don't know all the cards, unironically. Like I learn the cards because they are meta relevant pretty much, right? Like I will just I will read and learn cards when they become relevant in the game. Like if you play against me right now with a rogue deck that I haven't seen before, I will also not know what the cards do. So I'm not I don't feel like telling you right now, yeah, you need to study the card effects is the right thing to do. It's like it's just something that I personally learn what's going on with the stuff that's in the meta, right? Like I learn what people are playing, like by playing against it, right? Or like before the cards become meta and all that kind of stuff. I've never actually sat down to like learn a bunch of random cards that aren't meta relevant, right? Most of the time these days I'll read cards once or twice before they come out because we react to it on stream or something, and then when they actually come out I read them, and maybe I read them again, and then when they actually see play is when I'm actually learning what they do, right? Like because very often I read a card for the first or second time, I'm not going to remember it a couple weeks or months down the line.
In which case, they bring back 2 and they search follow-up, which is fine because you're just going to kill them because all they have after that is a Princess Pop, which is really just nothing, especially when you have Cherubini. Then I played 3 Anti-Spell. Anti-Spell's a weird one. Summon Limit probably would have been better. I probably would play Summon Limit post-YCS, but I think I was just going into it with... there's a lot of spells, especially in the Fire King. So Anti-Spell just really...
There's too many cards in the card pool that it's not worth to learn at all. I mean, it's just not... Statistically, it's not worth your time to learn every single card because like so many of them you will never have to play against. Like it just makes more sense from a time management standpoint to learn only the stuff that's relevant rather than learning everything there is. There's no point to doing that realistically, right? Of course it'd be cool and impressive to know every single Yu-Gi-Oh card in effect, but like there's nothing really competitively. You only play against stuff that you don't know or have never seen before so often. Yeah.
Puts in a lot of work sometimes. Obviously, they can play through it if their hand is nice enough, but the problem with Summon Limit is because their Fire decks are playing so many hand traps, obviously they're running cross out, and they typically side in 1 Summon Limit going second, so that they can cross out calling Summon Limit. So that's why I wanted to play Anti-Spell, just to out that, and also turn off their cross out post activation so that I can hand trap them like Nib. So that was really good. And then the final card in my side deck, card carries. I don't think I actually sided this in once, but I think you just gotta have it in there. Submersible Carry Aero Shock. It's insane. Full combo. I'll read it out. Once per turn, you can detach 1 Exceed material from this card, inflict 100 hull damage for each of your banished monsters. Maxi again is like 400 damage on this turn 1. It's just really there for time. I think you just gotta have it there. So yeah, all in all, this deck performed really well. I think the matchup it has against Fire King and Snake Eye
That's
is
so
just
pathetic, dude. That's the most pathetic thing you could do to someone. That's crazy, man. That's actually crazy. Okay. Well, those were nice. That was some nice fresh air in a format of fire, obviously. So I'm glad we did that. I'm glad we had a look at some of these things. Specifically the Blind Second Labyrinth. That was my favorite. What was your favorite rogue deck of the day? I'm picking the Blind Second Labyrinth. I might play that on an upcoming like remote duel stream if we have one anytime soon. I might play that. That was cool. All right. What we're gonna do now is I'm booting up Master Duel and we'll play some ranked. Specifically ranked because we have to hold off on reaching the final stage of the Duelist Cup. Like I already told you guys yesterday, the plan is to have a race with Farfa from duelist level 17 to duelist level max or 20. Unfortunately, Farfa suggested doing that and starting at level 17, and then I asked him yesterday, okay, what level are you? And he's like, not even close to 17 yet, so we can't do it yet. Farfa played like 2 minutes of Duelist Cup yesterday, then did sealed, so good luck with that. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like he messaged me yesterday before the stream and he was like, can you stop at 17 so we can do a race together? And I'm like, okay, sure, sounds cool. So I stopped at 17 yesterday and we played ranked after. And I messaged him after the stream. I'm like, okay, I'm ready. I'm at 17. Let's race tomorrow. And he's like, I'm not there yet. I'm like, what? What do you mean you're not there yet? So we're gonna do that on Monday. But that's okay. I mean, whatever. We are in no hurry to do the level 20 thingy. We have an entire week left. It's okay. And that means we're just gonna play some ranked. I have an update on the Ash situation. I actually off stream packs I just pulled better. So I pulled 2 Ashes in 10 packs yesterday. So I have 3 with the crazy animation now, so we can do that. Today, because I'm feeling a little bit under the weather and a little bit tired, I'm not sure how long we're gonna go, but we're gonna play some ranked, and I'm just gonna play feel good decks for me, decks that I like. Yeah, that's all there is. That's all there is. Today, you can't sway me. You can't do like I'll give you some subs if you play stun. I don't feel like it. I do not feel like it. So, and we still need to grind to master, so master 1 rather, so let's do that. Like stun? No, there's not gonna be stun, there's not gonna be math mech, there's not gonna be super heavy, none of that stuff. None of that stuff. Actually, I'll play a good old game of Bystial Runick. You underestimate our power? I do not. Striker, okay, we can play some Striker. I don't mind Striker. Is your regional deck playable in Master Duel? Somewhat, yeah. You don't have Bonfire, which hurts a little bit because it's really good that it also is a spell card in the graveyard for the Striker stuff. But yeah, you can play it. 60 cards for our opponent. All right, our hand is pretty good, except for the fact it only has 1 Runick. Also, except for the fact that our opponent has opened a hand trap in 60 cards, apparently, which is probably freaking maxi. Can I cosplay you at the next YCS? Well, you're just gonna win it? This. I think I'll actually start with Magnamute here to get my regained draw. And see if they maxi me, which surely they will. Oh. What is the hand trap then? Imperm? No, they had a response on Lubellion already. Furniture, 60 card Labyrinth? I mean, I hope. It could still be Ash. Oh yeah, it's Ash. Okay, that's fine. Well, we just Baron Maxi pass, I suppose. Mando Neado, thank you for the 9 months. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. They got more? What's wrong with 60 card decks, man? Wasn't it better to summon here? Maybe, probably. Yeah, you're right. I will add a Baldric. Dude, it's one Baron. Your deck's pathetic if it scoops to one Baron. Is there a realistic chance we ever see you build Witchcrafters? Realistic? No. Not really. $500 subs? Yeah, that's not a realistic number. That's not gonna happen. I would build Witchcrafter for 500 subs, but no one wants to see Witchcrafter that bad. Ah. Mind Gaming gave out 1 gift sub. Appreciate you. Thank you. I guess technically I should be grabbing another normal summon here. I mean, I already have 2. Yeah, I guess. Booble gifted a sub to 500 subs. That doesn't count. That does not count. Let's go with the Aluber first. Like our worst normal summon. There's no way this just works, right? They're not very good at playing stun. Yes, you can draw one. Yeah, they don't have the protection engine. Solemn Strike. Oh, good thing I didn't normal summon Quem and activated the effect. can still lose to, like, if they normal summon another monster and equip Moon Mirror to it, like, it's still almost over unless we draw the right Runics. But now we don't even have a battle phase to attack over it. Okay, they normal summoned that. That's good for us. Maybe I should have just played a little bit last turn. What? Okay. Punishment. Another one. Okay. Do another Runick. That's good. I'm playing into it now. I mean, the problem is... if I activate Fountain, they just go Punishment, Send, Enthys. Oh, man. That's crazy behavior against the Runick deck. Yeah, sick. Simply don't attack, okay? That matchup is not even supposed to be hard. It's like you have so many answers to these cards. It's just drawing, what was it, like double Maxi, double Nibiru instead of like any useful Runics. And then when I did draw a Runic, they drew Judgment the turn before with the second Maxi that they had. Do people play Gamma in this deck? I don't know. I'll respect Gamma. I don't think they do, but like, yeah. I think if we resolve the Maxi, we'll be happy either way. And I think it's actually okay for us if they commit some of the cards. Oh, there's scope. I guess we telegraphed the Maxi because the toggle game wasn't that good. Oh, never mind. That is not what I expected. Okay. I'm a little confused. Just a little bit. Bystials seem good against this, at least. Oh. I'm sorry, but Runick is bad in Master Duel. You don't have to be sorry for being wrong. That's okay. No problem. Not your fault. I'm watching your deck losing to Max C 3 times in a row, so it must be bad on Master Duel. I'm not even sure if we're losing this game, to be honest. Probably not. Yeah, I don't think we lose this. Is there a point in summoning out the Druid's Worm just to take less damage? Probably not. So what is the trap? Or whatever they searched? This. Set Eternal Soul. Sure. Whatever. Special summon a Dark Magician from hand or grave, which they don't have at the moment. Celine. That does not even target. You think I mean they're probably trying to summon Diabellstar again to set the trap card again. I'll just Druid's Worm the Diabellstar. I'll Druid's Worm the Diabellstar and Maxi because they still get to special summon the oh well, okay, never mind. Question is, do they play Access Code Talker? Wait, where did that come from? Oh, from hand. Okay. Sick. Goodbye, Fountain. We really just top deck Dark Magician, huh? King Boohoo, thank you for the 4 months. Appreciate you. So they special this now, and then they can banish my Tri-Edge. I guess is what they're trying to do, right? Wait, so what do they have now? Was that 5? I think it's 5. I think they have Nib. The Rod? Oh, is it the Rod? If you activate a spell trap or effect, attribute a spell cast. Oh, okay, okay. Garura can draw a card. And then... You look angry? I'm not angry. I'm just tired and annoyed. I didn't sleep well last night, and Master Duel is making it hard for me because I'm playing against friggin' Max C everywhere. Even when it's friggin' Dark Magician. I somehow need to fight for it for no reason. Nicolo, thank you for the 2 months. Appreciate you. Thank you. Bystial. I wish I was playing Scarlight because I could make it now. I only have Gary's left. So even if I go Slumber to Special level 4, it doesn't really get me anywhere. I can make this shit, but it doesn't really... When a spell trap or effect is activated, target a monster you control, return to the hand. I don't have a battle phase this turn. I just used Runick Dispelling. So what, this just draws one now that you want? Like any card you want? Basically, because you put it top of deck? Yeah. So we mess with that a little bit, I guess. We banished Silvera, dude. It gives them another free draw. I just like... One fucking Bystial in any of these turns and I win the game so easy. It's so dumb, man. Fucking triple maxi, dude. I actually just can't be asked. Why today out of all days, dude? I'm having a bad day already and then this shit keeps happening, dude. There's no way you're trying to freaking Cynet conflict me right now. You've got to be fucking kidding me, man. How? Does that even work? No. Doesn't work. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Thank you for watching. Been real. Tune into the Sunday stream. Till then.